Part 7. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 61. Grey Realm. Location, Abyss of Dead Souls. Coordinates, 53, 55. Danger Factor, S. In front of Lu Shu, a large chasm canyon appeared. The breath of the curse of the dead souls emerged from the abyss. A few steps closer, ahead. A dead soul filled with the aura of the abyss appeared nearby. Imprisoned dead soul. Category, dead soul, abyss. Danger coefficient, A. Perception range, 100 meters. Power, 200. Speed, 150. Defense, 220. Skills, Call of the Dead Soul, Substitute Death, Wailing and Screaming, Abyss Amplification. Description, Specially used for undead souls. The power of the abyss refines these lonely ghosts into its scapegoats. An immortal soul? Lu Shu frowned slightly. The next second, he tried to activate the ability of Monster Prophet. Soon, a boss attribute panel popped up in front of Lu Shu. Immortal Soul. Category, Undead Soul, Abyss. Danger Factor, A+. Perception Range, 200 meters. Power, 510. Speed, 430. Defense, 410. Skills, Resonance of the Undead Soul, Immortality of the Undead Soul, Reincarnation of the Undead Soul, Soul Scream, Abyss Amplification. Description, Undead Soul. It was a decent magician when it was alive, but unfortunately it specialized in the magic of immortality in its later years. As a result, the dead soul turned into a monster that cannot be dissipated and transcended. Unless all its substitute dead souls are killed, it will gain endless benefits. Chance of resurrection. Through the ability of Monster Prophet, Lu Shu could easily sense that there were at least tens of thousands of imprisoned souls in this abyss. These dead souls are all the dead souls that replace the immortal souls. Unless all these 10,000 dead souls are killed, the non-dead souls will have unlimited opportunities to be resurrected. However, these 10,000 dead souls all have the skill of calling the dead souls. Simply put, when killing the dead souls, you must kill them instantly, and you cannot let them use the skill of calling the dead souls. Otherwise, you will encounter the endless siege of the dead souls in the abyss. And if we kill them one by one, I don't know how long it will take to kill them until they can deal with the undead souls. Although the boss strength of Dead Soul Abyss is not as good as Castlevania. However, its risk factor still reaches S level. As you can imagine, this copy is much more difficult than imagined. If it weren't for the ability of Monster Prophet, I'm afraid we would still encounter some troubles. Lu Shu frowned slightly. The immortal soul also has the ability to reincarnate as a dead soul. If the undead soul is not killed, even killing the other 2 nightmare souls and corruption souls will not help. This kind of immortal ability should depend on the abyss to continue. There are 2 ways. One, when you become stronger in the future, you can directly rush through the dungeon when you come back. 2, find a way to move the undead soul to another place to isolate the connection with the dead soul, then kill it, then sneak to the other 2 boss locations and kill them to pass the dungeon. All the dead souls here have the effect of abyss amplification. Their attributes are much higher than those of ordinary monsters. Moreover, the abyss amplification makes the souls here even attack with restrained attributes such as purification and lightning systems. It has a reducing effect. It is not a good idea to rush in and kill all the monsters. Suddenly, Lu Shu looked at the countdown to the invasion of the Grey World. He had an idea and smiled. Correct. The Grey World only has 1 day left before it will be invaded. I just need to control the exploration range of Dead Soul Abyss, just explore the undead soul, and then go back. At this time, the undead souls will come to attack my sacred tree island, but other undead souls will not come if they have not explored it. Using this method, you can not only weaken the troops around the immortal souls, but also make them lose the effect of abyss amplification. What's more, there is a TNG formation on my island that can weaken evil spirits, as well as an army of plants and psychic cannons. These dead souls are no match for me. Take out the Marauders map. Do you want to spend Advanced Soul X1 to keep displaying it for 15 minutes? Yes. The next second, various mottled blood stains began to appear on the parchment of the Marauders map, which displayed various information about the monsters in this instance. Lushu's eyes were on the little white fox. Little white fox, can you find the location of the immortal soul based on this route? You have to move quickly. Do it in a day and come back. Lushu said. The little white fox nodded immediately. If it is a normal sneak, the undead soul is located deep in the abyss, and there are a bunch of dead souls on the way. It is really difficult to get over. However, the little white fox has the skills of void teleport and void crack. This distance is not a problem for it. Good. Seeing how confident the little white fox was, Lushu nodded. He released the thinking resonance on the little white fox. At this time, Lushu could feed back information about changes in the Marauders map to the little white fox at any time so that he could adjust at any time. The route of action. There is only 1 day left before the invasion of the Grey World. The action must be fast. Cast Void Teleport. Suddenly, the little white fox swayed and appeared in the abyss. Just landed. The little white fox fled towards the void again. The dexterous figure entered the crack in the void. Even if the soul of the dead passes nearby, it cannot sense the existence of the little white fox. Sneaking with the help of the power of the void. With Lushu's Marauders map, you can observe the movement of monsters at any time. This is more convenient than activating Monster Prophet all the time. This skill is more used to see boss skills in advance, and the position is secondary. Every time he performs void teleportation, the little white fox can find a landing point with fewer dead souls. In this way, not only can it speed up, but it can also greatly reduce the scope of exploration and avoid contact with more dead souls. During the invasion of the Grey World, the souls outside the exploration range will not be selected for this Grey World invasion. This mechanism allows the Divine Tree Master to use the Grey Realm invasion to eliminate some special monsters with the help of the island's defensive properties. Boom! At this time, the grey mist suddenly trembled. It seems that some terrifying existence is resurrecting. Lushu's expression changed slightly. With less than a day left before the invasion of the Grey World, there will also be some unexpected turmoil in the Grey World. System prompt: all Sacred Tree Masters, please pay attention. There is less than 1 day left for the invasion of the Grey World. Those Sacred Tree Masters who are still exploring the Grey World should return to the Sacred Tree Island immediately, otherwise they will face death. When the Grey World began to shake, the souls of the dead in the abyss seemed to become restless and began to move quickly nearby. On the Marauders map, dense red dots move erratically and quickly. In this case, it will be difficult to find a good foothold. Little white fox, just choose the nearest route. Lushu passed his thoughts to the little white fox. Anyway, the defense of the Sacred Tree Island is strong enough. If you pull in more for the death soul, you will still kill those who should be killed. Move along the shortest path, very quickly. The little white fox will we arrived at the location of the undead soul. A dead soul with a rotten aura all over its body stood quietly in the depths of the abyss. The aura of the undead soul was quite strange, as if it was connected to the abyss. Perhaps, with the help of this power, the undead soul can acquire such tricky abilities. Little white fox, don't stay too long, come back. Shu said. The shock in the Grey World has become more and more violent. The little white fox also noticed the crisis and did not dare to neglect it. He hurriedly followed the shortest path and returned to Lushu at the fastest speed. He carved a mark around it. Teleportation array, the next second. The light curtain enveloped the large army in the Grey World. Only Lushu's clone was left, still staying in the Grey World. This time, I'll take a look at what will happen when the Grey World invades. Lushu took a deep breath. Last time, his range of perception was too small, only a few dozen meters. He couldn't see clearly what happened here when the Grey World invaded. However, this time, Lushu's range of perception, reaching 130 meters. You can see the scene of the invasion of the Grey World more clearly. Anyway, after the clone is broken, just condense into one again and that's it. It's free of charge. I have explored Yunmen Holy Land and read many prophecies stone tablet. Lushu is becoming more and more interested in what kind of existence the Grey World is. World public screen. Ah, time flies by too fast, the invasion of the Grey World is coming before you know it. I really ran back like I was dying, and I will never get stuck exploring the Grey World again. It's too dangerous. The last time the Grey Realm invaded, I didn't dare to explore the dungeon. I only dared to explore some safe areas. I shouldn't die, right? Upstairs, look away. Everyone is mortal. It seems that if you don't explore the Grey World copy, you can live forever. I wonder which big names will be on the ranking list during this Grey Realm invasion. With envious eyes, I also want to be a leader in the rankings. What do you think the tree-laying boss can achieve in the rankings this time? Needless to say, it must be number 1 on the list. Don't forget that Mr. Lusha got the first kill of the Abyss level dungeon not long ago. My opinion is a bit different from yours. According to my research on the dungeon map of Grey Realm, each area basically only has one Abyss level dungeon. Let's not talk about whether we can find other Abyss level dungeons. Even running the map requires very long time. Yes, Mr. Lusha chose to conquer an Abyss level dungeon directly, so the time he spent exploring other dungeons should be shortened a lot. Therefore, he may not be able to get a very explosive score in the Grey World invasion this time, because of the overall scope of exploration. Small. However, his ranking at number 1 is not bad, right? That's definitely not bad, but I heard that several Sacred Tree Masters have taken off recently, and Mu Yu Tingfeng and Anya seem to have made a lot of preparations for this Grey World invasion, which is to challenge top of the list. Not just those two, there are also some new dark horses. I heard they are pretty awesome. Let's see who is the real king of the rankings. I used 10 packs of primary fertilizer to beat the tree boss. Then I used 10 packs of primary fertilizer to bet that someone else will be the first on the list this time, just the opposite of you. During the time when the Grey World invaded, some people even started betting on whether Lushu would be number 1 on the list. Nowadays, primary fertilizer has basically become the hard currency of the Grey World. Whether it is exchanged or used as a bet, it will be accepted by most Sacred Tree Masters. Most people have always believed that Lushu is still number 1 on the list. After all, he also achieved the first kill of an Abyss level dungeon some time ago. There are also some people who speculate that Lushu has cleared the Abyss level dungeon, so the time to explore other dungeons will be compressed. Moreover, the number of Abyss level dungeons is very rare, so it is concluded that Lushu cannot go to the second Abyss level dungeon again in such a short period of time, so the upper limit is also compressed. In addition to other Sacred Tree Masters, after the first invasion of the Grey World, many of them understood the rules and their strength improved significantly in a short period of time, with latecomers catching up. Under this general trend, some people dreamed of getting rich. The Sacred Tree Master placed his treasure on the left, betting that Lushu would not be number 1 on the list. Many Sacred Tree Masters at the top of the rankings also focused their attention on the name of Tree Master at this moment. This name on the list is so dazzling, and it is also the common goal of these strong men. Mu Yu Tingfeng took a deep breath. During this period of time, she did not have many copy guides, but she was still studying how to get higher points in the invasion of the Grey World. This time, Mu Tingfeng is fully confident that the points this time will hit more than 1 million, or even 2 million. At least, I can't be crushed by that guy with 3 times the points. Thinking about the ranking list of the last Grey Realm invasion, Lu Shu ranked his name 3 times higher and became the biggest background of the Sacred Tree game. Mu Tingfeng felt unconvinced. Even if he can't compare with the other party, he should at least try his best. Defeat is an honor. What the hell is being crushed by 3 times the points? Mu Tingfeng is not sure of defeating Lu Shu, but at least this time, she is sure that the opponent will not be able to crush her 3 times. After waiting for a long time, finally a prompt popped up in front of everyone. The invasion of the Grey World is about to begin. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 62. Sacred Tree Island. There is only a little time left before the invasion of the Grey World. The magical plant has been moved by Lu Shu behind the first line of defense. 2 lines of defense work together to block the invasion of monsters from the Grey World. The spiritual power cannon has also been carried out. Lu Shu's 2 clones took 50 Pikachu and 50 UMI respectively to the sacred trees on the other 2 islands, waiting to deal with the monsters from other islands. Correct. I also have the shadow fruit and the undead magic fruit, which are already ripe. Not taking it yet. In the past few days when Lu Shu entered the Grey World to explore, the shadow fruit and the undead magic fruit also produced 1. The remaining other 1 would have been almost mature if it hadn't been for the invasion of the Grey World. Go to the corresponding island. Lu Shu takes both fruits. You have swallowed a shadow fruit, and there is still 1 fruit left to upgrade to the 2nd level of Grandmaster. You swallowed a fruit of undead magic and your career level was upgraded to master level. The next second, Lu Shu's career panel was immediately updated. Occupation. Name, Necromancer. Level, Master. Attributes, Spirit add 100, Perception add 50, Magic add 500. Skills. Undead Perception, LV2 you can sense the breath of the undead within a range of 3000 meters. Undead Control, LV7 you can control undead whose danger coefficient is below S and level. Undead Magic, LV4 consume spiritual power and magic power to summon an undead with a danger coefficient. Undead Storm, LV1 control up to 500 undead around with a danger coefficient below B level, and launch attacks towards the corresponding target. Undead Control, professional exclusive defeat an undead, completely control it with spiritual power, and cultivate undead monsters. Available skill points, 5. Lu Shu's eyes immediately turned to the new skill. Undead Storm. This skill is awesome. It can be used not only for group damage, but also for dealing with individual targets. Lu Shu first tried to add a little bit to the Undead Storm to see the effect. It turned out that, both the danger coefficient of the undead and the number of simultaneous controls had a very good increase. Lu Shu added 4 skill points, add points to Undead Storm, then add the last skill point to Undead Control. In front of you, the skills panel is updated again. Undead Control, LV8 you can control the risk factor below SS level the undead. Undead Storm, LV5 control up to 2500 undead around with a risk factor below A and level, and launch attacks towards the corresponding target. Until now. Unless it is an undead creature in an abyss level copy, normal and difficult levels the undead, even the boss, are just nothing in front of Lu Shu. All preparations have been completed. The next second, a prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu. The Grey World invasion has begun. A bunch of monsters suddenly emerged from the border of the Grey Fog. The first wave of Grey World invasion, mostly zombies. These are the common level dungeon monsters Lu Shu encountered along the way to the Abyss of Dead Souls. There are also a small number of mutant wild boars, as well as larger mutant rhinos, mutant camels, and other creatures, emerging from the grey mist and rushing towards the center of the sacred tree island. However, this line of defense formed by Tianling Mine is much higher than the original ordinary ore. Zombies are not that easy to climb up. At a glance, the densely packed zombies, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, are an endless army. However, the first line of defense alone can keep out 80% of zombies. The first wave of invasion. Only 20% of zombies can climb onto the body of the same kind in the first place and invade towards the second line of defense. However, just behind the first line of defense, an army of tens of thousands of plants is waiting for the arrival of zombies. 10,000 peas were launched simultaneously. 10,000 pieces of corn and cabbage fell towards the group of zombies at the same time, bursting out a range of damage. The tall nuts formed in a circle form a small defense line of nuts to block the invasion of zombies. The sunflowers at the back continuously gather sunlight to target all plant companions, increasing their attack power. With the blessing of the mythical architecture and the TNG formation, the plant's combat capabilities have been stacked with several buffs. An extremely dense hail of bullets made of plants fired wildly at the zombies. Every second, countless zombie armies fell on the way to break through the second line of defense. You killed X10,000 zombies, and your defense points add 10,000. You killed X10,000 large zombies and your defense points add 50,000. You killed the giant zombie X10,000, and your defense points add 1,000,000. 2 other islands. Johnny's Island is not invaded by monsters. Basically just a few zombies. Lu Shu did not set out from the Dark Knight Island to explore the Grey World, so in the judgment it was basically equivalent to staying in his hometown, and he would not encounter many monster invasions. Just send out a clone and kill 2 monsters and that's it? Lu Shu sent all his troops to the sacred tree island of undead magic. Have to say, the scope of Rakshasa exploration is still very wide. The number of zombies that came to invade reached thousands. Do you want to spend 10,000 primary ores to create a line of defense? Yes. The white light comes. A line of defense quickly blocked the nearby zombies. These ores were decomposed by Lu Shu and were originally primary ores built on his own Divine Tree Island. Since it was replaced by Tianling Mine, these primary ores were redecomposed into materials by Lu Shu, which can be transferred to other sacred tree islands at any time to build defense lines. With the new line of defense, the speed of nearby zombie invasions was quickly slowed down a lot. Pikachu, use electric shock. Lu Shu said while sweeping away the sword energy. Pikachu nodded. There are 50 UMI and 50 Pikachu here, sitting on defense. With UMI's possession, Pikachu's mental power reaches S level, and it can release ordinary. The electric shock can basically be said to be costless. However, when this attack falls on a zombie, it is not so pleasant. Zizz. Zizz. As bursts of thunder and lightning emerged, various sounds rang out on the field. There was an explosion like a thunderous bombardment. Lu Shu used the 1,000 blades of the demonic knife. With his current attack power, he could kill a zombie instantly with just one blade. Soon, the battle on the undead magic island was over. Lu Shu, if the tree is killed too quickly, the Grey World monsters will invade in advance. Keep the speed and keep killing, and the monsters will not be able to come out. Lu Shu also let all the pets on the undead magic island return to their natal sacred tree island. After the zombie invasion there has almost finished, more advanced monsters have appeared, the undead have begun to invade. The border of grey fog. The lowest level of dead souls have begun to move towards the sacred tree island. Generally speaking, such monsters should come from difficult level dungeons and will not invade the sacred tree island in one wave. All I can say is, the area of the Grey World explored by Lu Shu is really too vast. Therefore, even the undead monsters that only appear in difficult level dungeons are also invading in the first wave and appearing on the Sacred Tree Island. Those dead souls instinctively rushed towards the position of the defense line. However, when they arrived at the defense line of Tianling Mine, a blue aftermath suddenly spread out, blocking out the dead souls. The dead soul numbly bumped towards the defense line. Even if it was bounced off by the energy of Tianling Mine again and again, it had no intention of giving up. These monsters only have the instinct of walking zombies. It didn't take long. Outside the first line of defense, in addition to a lot of climbing zombies, there were also a bunch of dead souls. Lu Shu hesitated for a while and did not choose to release the undead magic. Because these dead souls are too low level. Using magic consumes too much mental energy. Just let Pikachu use his thunder power to kill these undead and that's it. At this time, the pets on the undead magic island have all returned to their natal island and come to Lu Shu's side. You am I, possess Pikachu. Pikachu, go to the defense line and use electric shock. When the number of dead souls is almost gathered, use an electric shock to clean them up. Lu Shu said. Soon, Pikachu started to act according to what Lu Shu said. Now, these pets can easily understand Lu Shu's meaning. The little white fox's ability is temporarily weak in terms of combat effectiveness, and even more suitable for exploration work. Therefore, when the Grey World invaded, Lu Shu did not let the little white fox go to the battlefield. When the sacred tree regenerated the devil fruit, he would add attack-type abilities. After a while, 100 Pikachu arrived not far from the first line of defense. Tens of thousands of the lowest level souls had already gathered nearby. They were so densely packed that one could hardly see the end at a glance, blocking the outside of the first line of defense, like a group of ants. Unknown disappeared on the field. Whenever the undead souls gathered in batches, when the number was almost the same, Pikachu would perform an electric treatment. Instead of being able to cross the defense line, the undead souls one after another were like a group of mosquitoes, flying to the electric power on their own. Mosquito swatter on. Bang bang bang. There was a sound. The undead souls that came over were already dead before they even got over the first line of defense. Their performance was even worse than that of zombies. As for the zombies on the ground, Pikachu was even much lazier. Take a look. Leave it to the magical plants to fight the zombies. You killed X10,000 zombies, and your defense points add 10,000. You killed X10,000 of the dead souls, and your defense points add 50,000. Finally, the number of monsters on the field became more and more sporadic. The first day of the Grey World invasion is finally almost over. Killing the last soul. Lu Shu opened the points panel. Defense points, 666,666. Did you actually get 600,000 points on the first day? Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. This is nearly 7 times more than the last time he invaded the Sacred Tree Island. In just the first day of the invasion, the points were already so terrifyingly high. Lu Shu began to think, are there too many copies of the exploration? At this moment, several prompts popped up in front of me. Congratulations on successfully resisting the Grey Realm invasion on the first day. Get primary fertilizer X500, intermediate fertilizer X100, and Advanced Fertilizer x10. Get Wild Boar x1000, get Chicken x500, get Beef x500. Obtain Primary Wood x10000 and Primary Ore x5000. Get X5 Searchlight Torch. Obtain the Primary Skill Illustration, Synthesis. Get the Intermediate Skills Illustrated Book, Synthesis. Obtain the Advanced Skill Illustration, Synthesis. Lu Shu's eyes lit up instantly. This reward is too generous, right? After all. This time, even in the first wave of invasion, several copies attacked at the same time. The number of rewards is of course completely different from last time. Lu Shu's eyes were focused on the new skill illustration. Whether to learn skills, synthesis. Yes. The next second, a new skill panel popped up in front of Lu Shu. Synthesis. Level, Advanced. Function, using 10 low-level materials, they can be synthesized into higher-level materials. What a good thing. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. Many Divine Tree Masters do not have synthetic skills. It is estimated that the lucky attribute exploded again, and a rare skill map dropped. To know. In the current trading market, so many high-end fertilizers were robbed all at once. This is also because few Sacred Tree Masters have the skills to synthesize them, so they can only exchange them at a higher price. If it is synthesized, then 10 packs of primary fertilizer can be synthesized into 1 pack of intermediate fertilizer, which can even be exchanged for 11 to 12 packs of primary fertilizer on the transaction interface. If it is a high-grade fertilizer, 15 packs of intermediate fertilizer, or 150 packs of primary fertilizer, will be bought by someone. With the skills of decomposition and synthesis, wouldn't it be possible to harvest wool infinitely on the trading interface? Of course, the quantity cannot be too large, otherwise the price may drop again after the market demand is saturated and adjusted. Anyway, with the synthesis skill, Lu Shu can turn waste into treasure if he gets these low-level materials in the future. The first day's battle was quite easy. Basically no consumption. Except for the Natal Island, the battles on the other 2 Sacred Tree Islands have ended, and no monsters have invaded again. The Shadow Divine Tree and the Undead Magic Divine Tree also bathed in sunlight again and began to produce fruits. Next, you just need to focus all your attention on your Natal Island. It didn't take long. Several prompts pop up in front of you. The Grey World invasion begins on the 2nd day. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 63. Chapter 63, Grey Realm invades on the 2nd day, 2 million defense points. In the grey fog. Looking towards the border. The endless army of demons poured towards the Sacred Tree Island one after another. The average threat coefficient of these monsters has reached B level or above. There are no more low-level monsters like zombies and primary undead. If you encounter it occasionally in a copy, of course you can kill it casually. But they formed an incomparably huge army, coming in patches like a tidal wave. Tens of thousands of monsters attack the island every second. If any other Sacred Tree Master encountered such a scene, he would probably go crazy with fear. Chinook cannon, ready. Lu Shu said calmly. The 8 spiritual cannons surrounded the defense line and aimed at all the monsters around them. The spiritual energy from the Spirit Gathering Tower poured into the spiritual cannons crazily, accumulating energy for its next attack. As long as the monsters dare come here, you can launch a fierce bombardment at them at any time. Pikachu and Uami's expressions have become much more focused than the first day, and they have begun to take it seriously. The overall strength of the monsters has improved, becoming threatening, and then be careful in the battle coming down. Uami, possess Pikachu. Pikachu, Use 100,000 volts. Set up a thunder and lightning formation to bombard all monsters at the maximum range. Lu Shu commanded. The Pikachus immediately dispersed to every corner of the defense line. Densely packed monsters began to attack the defense line. Some high-level evil spirits and dead souls can break the barrier of Tianling Mine through skills. After all, Tianling Mine, the mine only has a certain blocking effect on the dead souls and evil spirits because it contains aura energy, but it does not have the restraining effect of purification. Once the number is too large, or the level of the evil spirits is too high, then the role of the Tianling Mine defense line will be weakened a lot. When the monster is close, 100,000 volts. 100 Pikachus activated their thunder powers without hesitation. Zizza! Zizza! Endless thunder light fell from the blue sky, washing the world and making the entire sacred tree island as bright as day. Possessed Inuamai on Pikachu also began to use the power of the shining fruit at this time to purify various evil spirits. The energy gathered by the psychic cannon turned into a huge beam of light, shooting in all directions. All the evil spirits and dead souls affected by the energy beam of the cannon were destroyed. You killed X10,000 of the ferocious evil spirits, and your defense points add 200,000. You killed X10,000 of the painful dead souls, and your defense points add 200,000. Although the efficiency of clearing the site is quite fast, the number of evil spirits and dead souls is too much. Lu Shu frowned. Next, he took out the devil's staff. Cast Undead Storm. A black wind of death suddenly swept towards the nearby undead. The next second, 2,500 undead souls began to kill each other towards the surrounding dead souls and evil spirits. As long as the spirits, when the necromancer uses the undead storm, they can kill each other. But Lu Shu's mental power is quite high. Continuously casting undead storm is not a problem at all. Now, 10,000 undead were rushing towards each other, fighting each other, and their number was suddenly halved. Pikachu and Uamai are also less stressed. Roar! Suddenly, a roaring sound came from the other end of the battlefield. A demon with an evil aura all over its body appeared in the battlefield. The next second, the boss panel popped up in front of Lu Shu. Demon Gul'dan. Category, Demon. Danger Coefficient, A+. Perception Range, 200 meters. Power, 510. Speed, 430. Defense, 510. Skills, Blood Demon, Demonic Power, Dominance, Spiritual Roar. Description, Gul'dan is of the Devil race, of course, the weakest kind. Are you coming? Lu Shu's eyes narrowed slightly. In this attack, the most powerful existence among all the monsters is probably the Demon Gul'dan. Among all the dungeons, the one where the Demon Gul'dan is located is the only one with the Demon Gul'dan. A copy of the clan's bloodline. Of course. Compared with Castlevania, the strength of Demon Gul'dan is of course not as good as the cursed Demon King. But it has the ability to dominate and has 5,000 demon imps under its hands. In the distance, a group of skins are the red, small devil with flames on its body jumped to the battlefield in the grey world. Demon Imp. Category, Demon. Danger Coefficient, A. Perception Range, 100 meters. Power, 150. Speed, 230. Defense, 120. Skills, Demon Flame, Imp Jump. In the battlefield, the Devil Imp rushed into the defense line and immediately showed great fighting power. The Demon Imp is performing Imp Jump, doubling his speed. Suddenly, the field is full of dancing figures of devils and imps. They are extremely fast and physically elusive. Soon, the Devil Imp jumped the first line of defense. The magical plant attacks the demon. Peas, corn, cabbage, and other plants were thrown towards the devil. However, these demons are so fast that they can dodge such intensive attacks in the air. The demon imp starts to plant demon fire. If you are burned by this kind of fire damage, the magical plant will be a little unable to block such high damage. However, the flame attack was in mid-air and was blocked by Gaunut. Tall Nut is like the father of all magical plants. He is usually silent, but always stands in front, shielding the plants behind him from wind and rain. Pikachu and Uami rushed to the defense line and began to kill these devil imps. However, the efficiency of lightning power to kill is not high. Each lightning beam can only take away a few demon imps. The speed of these monsters is too high. Even Uami's fishing missiles have a hard time hitting them. If an ordinary divine tree master encountered such an enemy, he would probably be in disarray. Pikachu, use the shock fruit. Lu Shu said. Pikachu used the physical damage of the shock fruit. Suddenly, traces of fragmentation spread in the air, much faster than lightning. The demon clown was instantly squeezed to death by the power of the shock fruit, and his death was tragic. Lu Shu even cast the devil's curse on the side. Thousands of grey auras emerged on the demon imps at the same time. The attributes of these flexible monsters were immediately reduced several times, and their speed slowed down. Then, Lu Shu he took out the Holy Sword of War. This is a weapon that can only restrain demons. Not even the cursed demon king can defeat the Holy Sword, let alone the demon Gul'dan, a demon with a risk factor of only a level. When the Holy Sword appears the moment it was in Lu Shu's hands, he cast the 1,000 blades of the demon sword. The next second, the Holy Sword split into thousands of fragments and slashed straight at all the demons and imps nearby. The devil imp was critically hit by the Holy Sword, causing instant kill damage. Cooperate with Pikachu's output. In front of you. Every second, messages about the demon imps being killed pop up. You killed the devil imp, defense points add 1000. You killed the devil imp, defense points add 1000. One devil imp can bring 1000 defense points to Lu Shu. And when the Holy Sword is used in conjunction with the 1,000 blades of the demon sword, it kills everyone on the battlefield. It's so satisfying. In just a few minutes, Lu Shu gained hundreds of thousands of defense points. At this time, the demon Gul'dan in the distance roared angrily. It felt that its own kindred were dying in large numbers, and how angry it was. You humble insect, die in the roar of hell. The demon Gul'dan launched his spiritual roar. A deafening roar echoed throughout the entire sacred tree island. However, the mental power of Lu Shu and Pikachu Kayamai are both very high, and ordinary mental attacks have no effect at all. The demon Gul'dan roared for a long time, but it had no effect. Even on the sacred tree island, no one cares about him. Including Pikachu and Uami. Lu Shu continued to kill the demon imps jumping around to prevent these monsters from threatening his magical plants. A truly outstanding commander will definitely cherish the life of every troop under his command. Demonic clowns pose a certain threat to magical plants, so it's best to kill them first. By the time the demon Gul'dan finished roaring, Lu Shu had already recovered his holy sword. Thousands of demon imps died under Lu Shu's holy sword. Even if these little devils can jump, they can't fly faster than Lu Shu's blade. After killing all the demon brats, Lu Shu's eyes turned to the demon Gul'dan. Die. As soon as he finished speaking, he struck down with a sword. The bright sword light bathed in the aura of the holy sword immediately enveloped the figure of the demon Gul'dan. The demon Gul'dan was immediately severely injured. Roar. It roared. The demon Gul'dan activates the blood demon. The demon Gul'dan has activated the power of demons. The next second, the attributes of this boss instantly doubled. The momentum has also increased a lot. Bells and whistles. Lu Shu's eyes were calm. He struck out with his sword again. The Holy Sword's exclusive damage to demons is quite high. Lu Shu's cultivation level has reached the 5th level of Xiantian, and he has also unlocked a bunch of sub-professional attributes. Demon Ancient Erden was not as powerful as the Cursed Demon King. As the sword light fell, its figure disappeared into the Holy Sword light. You killed the Demon Gul'dan, and your defense points add 500,000. The defense points gained from killing the boss are really amazing. Lu Shu couldn't help but sigh. Zizi. Zizi. The battlefield outside the defense line. Pikachu cooperated with Uami to continuously cause a large number of attacks on the dead souls. Even the evil spirits with a risk factor of a level, faced with such there is nothing that can be done about the terrible thunder and lightning attacks. This is their nemesis. The 8 spiritual cannons continuously extract the majestic spiritual energy from the spirit gathering tower, turn it into a beam of light, and shoot towards the surroundings. Each time a piece is fired, there was a large group of dead souls who died under the bombardment of the spiritual cannon. Lu Shu's undead magic caused these dead souls to start biting each other, and the scene looked extremely cruel. In such a battle, there are huge amounts of souls every minute. The army of undead turned into grey mist and disappeared. Other types of monsters were no better than evil spirits and undead souls. When they attacked behind the first line of defense, they were defeated by the army of plants. You killed x10,000 of the ferocious evil spirits, and your defense points add 200,000. You killed x10,000 of the painful dead souls, and your defense points add 200,000. It didn't take long, the nearby undead army was gradually defeated by Pikachu's large army. When the last monster fell to the ground. Open the panel, defense points, 223,4110. 2 million defense points. This is surprisingly higher than Lu Shu's previous highest score. It only took 2 times for Lu Shu to break his own record limit. Moreover, it is twice as many as the last 1 million points. This time, I should be on the top of the list. Lu Shu smiled. Don't forget, on the 3rd day, there will be an abyss-level boss coming. After killing all the monsters today, it didn't take long. Several prompts popped up in front of Lu Shu. Congratulations on successfully resisting the Grey Realm invasion on the 2nd day. Obtain Primary Soul X100,000, Intermediate Soul X30,000, and Advanced Soul X8888. Obtain Devil Grass Seeds X100. Obtain Demonic Arm Guards, Diamond level. Get the Intermediate Demon Skills Illustrated Book Curse. Lu Shu immediately set his sights on the Devil Arm Guard. A equipment panel popped up in front of his eyes. Demonic Arm Guard. Type, Arm Guard. Grade, Diamond Attributes. Defense 410, Magic Resistance 220, Resistance add 20, Durability 600. Demonic 8-piece set, 3/8. Set effect, Demonic Restraint add 30, Demon Perception add 25, Demon Gain add 20%. Description, a staff made by a demon. My devil suit has also reached 3 pieces. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. Next, if you want to explore other dungeons, you will probably go to the Abyss level dungeon. Or if there are any higher level dungeons above this, you will have to find the map first. Follow in advanced dungeons, demons will be the main race. Being able to explode a piece of demon equipment and increase the attributes of the set is a good thing in Lu Shu's eyes. Next. Lu Shu's focus is on Intermediate Demon Skills Illustrated Book. A prompt pops up in front of you. Do you want to study the Intermediate Demon Skills Illustrated Book, Curse? Yes. The next second. The skill panel in front of Lu Shu has been updated. Demonic Curse. Level, Intermediate. Function, put the target into a weak state, and reduce each attribute by 20%. At last. Lu Shu set his sights on Devil Grass Seeds. Seeds of Devil's Grass. Type, Devil's Plant Seed. Function, cultivate devil's grass that only grows in the devil's abyss. This grass looks like a devil and can devour the undead and evolve. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. Devil's grass can even be swallowed by evil spirits. It is a good thing to restrain the souls of the dead. In the future, the display of magical plants will be added, and those dead souls will no longer need to waste Pikachu's mental power to eliminate them. Leave it to the devil grass to devour it, and it will continue to evolve into stronger dead soul grass. Lu Shu immediately buried the devil grass in the soil. Product, devil grass. The growth will be suspended. And Lu Shu will have to wait until the battle is over before all the products will gradually recover. The third day of the Grey Realm invasion is about to begin. Besides, Lu Shu heard two notification sounds. Ding. You have obtained a shadow fruit. Ding. You have obtained an undead magic fruit. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 64. Go to the Divine Tree Teleportation Array. Lu Shu teleported to the other 2 sacred tree islands and picked the ripe shadow fruits and undead magic fruits. Swallow. You eat the shadow fruit, and the shadow assassin's level is raised to Grandmaster level 2. You have eaten the undead fruit, and the necromancer profession has been upgraded to the 3rd level of master. The next second, Lu Shu's career panel was immediately updated. Occupation. Name, Shadow Assassin. Level, Grandmaster level 2, upgraded to level 9. Attributes, attack power add 120, speed add 320, dodge add 75. Available skill points, 1. The effect bonus of the skill has not changed, but 1 has been added. Skill points. At this stage, Lu Shu no longer used the skill points of the Shadow Assassin, but chose to keep them. Wait until new skills appear, wait and see, maybe leave them to new skills. The benefits of improving other skills are no longer very high. Then, Lu Shu set his sights on the profession of necromancer. Occupation. Name, Necromancer. Level, Master level 3, upgrade to level 5. Attributes, Spirit add 150, Perception add 70, Magic add 600. 2 more skill points. All Lu Shu's choices were added to Undead Storm. Skill. Undead Storm, LV7 control up to 3,500 undead around with a danger factor below S level, and launch attacks at the corresponding target. The level of soul control is already high enough. Next, I have to face the attack of Abyss of Dead Souls. Adding more points of Revenant Storm can reduce more battle losses. Lu Shu has his own judgment and decision. The invasion of the Grey World begins on the 3rd day. The surrounding grey fog suddenly shrouded towards the sacred tree island. The next second, from the grey mist, a mighty army of dead souls walked out. However, it is different from ordinary dead souls. These dead souls are entangled with the aura of the abyss. It is the army of dead souls that came from the abyss of dead souls. A dead soul, whose whole body was filled with the aura of the abyss and whose aura was extremely terrifying, appeared in the center of all the dead souls and was protected. Immortal soul. Thin black lines appeared around it, connecting other dead souls. Boom. The ray of the psychic cannon suddenly shot towards the undead soul. A burst of white light enveloped the immortal soul. Make a violent explosion. It was full of fire and a mess. The nearby substitute death soul suddenly turned into a mass of black energy, covering the spot where the undead souls originally stood. It didn't take long. The immortal soul reappears in front of you. Really? The undead soul can only be killed by killing all the nearby dead souls. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. The next second, the psychic cannon was aimed at the other dead souls. Boom. The sound of explosions echoed continuously outside the defense line. However, an abyssal aura spread from these dead souls. The psychic cannon hit them among them, but it didn't cause much damage. Isn't the damage enough? Lu Shu's eyes moved. These dead souls have the aura of abyss amplification. Although the undead souls were pulled to the island and away from the abyss, the amplification effect is still there. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Uami, use the sparkling fruit. Attack nearby dead souls. Lu Shu commanded. Lightning and flashes of light flew and spread in the field. In the blink of an eye, many monsters on the field were killed. Compared to the abyss of dead souls, the number of dead souls here has been reduced by less than 10 points. 1. The TNG array suddenly burst out with a burst of light. On the ground, a Tai Chi yin and yang diagram slowly appeared. At this moment, Lu Shu also activated the defense ability of the TNG array. The spiritual energy stored in the spirit gathering tower dropped rapidly. And all the dead souls was also weakened by the TNG formation. Your TNG array activates evil repelling, and the attributes of all undead monsters will be reduced by 20%. Then, Lu Shu took out the dead soul sword. Cast 1,000 blades of magic sword. The next second, the extremely sharp magic knife, carrying the purifying aura of holy water, slashed at all the nearby undead monsters. Every second, a large number of souls are dying. You killed the imprisoned soul, and your defense points add 10,000. You killed the imprisoned soul, and your defense points add 10,000. Just killing a dead soul can actually increase your points by 10,000 points. Lu Shu's eyes lit up. With the TNG formation and the purification of the holy water. Even with the abyss amplification, these monsters are no match for Lu Shu. Especially the TNG formation almost offsets the effect of the abyss amplification. In this way, all the dead souls have changed from the dead souls blessed by the abyss amplification to ordinary dead souls. The efficiency of killing must be as high as possible. Whether it is purification or Pikachu's electric power, it can cause a lot of damage to the dead souls. In the distance, 100 little white foxes are hiding in the cracks in the void, watching the battle. Looking at the heroic posture of Pikachu and other friends, those ruby-like pupils are filled with admiration and envy. One day, I also want to learn combat skills from my brothers and sisters, and help Lu Shu kill thousands of enemies on the battlefield. Finally, in the entire battlefield, there was only one boss left, the immortal soul, standing alone among the team. In fact, among the three major bosses in Abyss of Dead Souls, the undead soul should be the weakest in combat power, not even much stronger than the imprisoned soul. Apart from being indestructible, there really is nothing special about it. Now, all the surrogate souls around were killed. The immortal soul no longer has any black thread that can connect other dead souls. But Lu Shu did not choose to kill the opponent immediately. Cast Devil's Curse. The power of the curse, which reached the intermediate level, entangled the undead soul, immediately weakening the opponent's combat effectiveness. Immediately afterwards, Lu Shu began to try to use undead control, trying to completely gain control of the undead soul. At this time, the undead soul realized that its spiritual ocean had been impacted, and immediately launched a resistance. That extremely sinister aura wanted to pass by and bite Lu Shu back. As a result, the surrounding Pikachus immediately gave the disobedient immortal soul a set of electric treatments. The immortal soul immediately became calm and calm. Complete the final spiritual connection, now. The immortal soul can be controlled at will by Lu Shu's mental power. You control the undead soul, and your defense points add 1,000,000. He is worthy of being an abyss-level boss. Just by killing one, you can get millions of defense points. Lu Shu's eyes lit up. Next, try to control the undead soul. Except that the combat power is a little weaker, The undead soul is still very good. At least, it can move, right? After the Grey Realm invasion is over, I went to the Abyss of Dead Souls and controlled the other two Dead Soul bosses. When the time comes, control the nearby Dead Souls and use the undead souls to connect with them. If I can really succeed, maybe I can have an Abyss-level army of Dead Souls. Lu Shu thought. When conquering the Abyss-level dungeon, the most difficult problem was that there were too many monsters in the Abyss dungeon. The life of every member of Lu Shu's pet army was extremely important and could not be messed up. Come. Therefore, we need such a unit that is not afraid of death to attract firepower from the front. Anyway, after the soul is dead, either continue to summon or continue to control, there will always be extra to replenish, but the life of the pet is priceless. Killed the last enemy. Finally. This time, the battle of the Grey World invasion is almost over. Lu Shu opened the panel, defense points, 621,0020. 6 million defense points. Compared with the last million, it has improved 6 times. Not bad. Lu Shu nodded with satisfaction. Certainly. With these points, getting the first place in the rankings is a sure thing. However, what Lu Shu pursues is to break through himself. Lu Shu was quite satisfied with the 6 million defense points. The grey fog above the head slowly faded towards the surroundings at this moment. A ray of sunlight broke through the dark clouds in the sky, like dawn breaking through the darkness, illuminating the earth, everything on the island, and the sacred tree in the center, at this moment. The sacred tree has resumed its growth again. The water and soil in all directions continue to be nourished by it. After waiting for a while, finally, several prompts popped up in front of me. You successfully resisted this invasion of the Grey World. Defense points, 6210020. Comprehensive evaluation, SSS level. SSS exclusive rewards are being unlocked for you. Open SSS level rewards. A dazzling array of prizes suddenly popped up in front of Lu Shu. You have obtained the Xian level or purple spirit or X50,000. You have obtained a special building, Jingxin Pavilion, prefecture level, X1. You have obtained a city defense prop spirit cannon, earth level, X10. You have obtained a rare seed, ice shooter X100. You have obtained a rare seed, destruction mushroom X100. You have obtained a rare seed, sunshine mushroom X100. You have obtained a rare seed, street lantern flower X100. You got a rare seed, coffee beans X100. The area of your sacred tree island has been expanded by 200 square kilometers. Ranking rewards will be issued when ranking points are announced. When the ranking points are announced, the Grey World will be opened again. Please stay on the island during this time, otherwise you will be responsible for the consequences. Lu Shu's eyes first focused on the Xian level ore. This ore is rarer than Tianling ore. Contains the effect of purple energy. Wait, will this have some connection with the next purple Qigong method? Lu Shu suddenly thought. Use decompose. First, completely dismantle the defense line around the sacred tree. The defense line in the highlands must be built with the best ores. It is also very convenient to decompose it. Very quickly. The area around the sacred tree island became an open space, much wider. It was demolished first and then built. White light shrouded the surrounding sacred tree island. The next second, a magnificent city defense building was built around the sacred tree island. The sunlight shines on the walls of Xiling Mine, reflecting a dreamlike luster. The towering sacred tree in the center of the island has grown a lot, like a giant, standing on the earth. The lush branches and leaves are bathed in the dreamy purple light, forming a fairyland-like picture. Jingxin Pavilion. Category, Special Building. Function, suitable for practice and meditation, and has the effect of increasing efficiency. Choose a location near your cabin. Lu Shu built the Jingxin Pavilion here. A small and exquisite secret cultivation room appeared not far from the cabin. There is a futon inside. Going in to meditate and practice can increase your practice efficiency a lot. The power of the Earth-level spiritual power cannon is even more powerful than the grade-selected spiritual power cannon we got last time. Put them up and they will play a greater role in dealing with the third invasion of the Grey World in the future. Come to the middle of the first line of defense and the second line of defense. This is where magical plants grow. Next. Lu Shu buried all the seeds in the surrounding soil. Ice Shooter X 10,000, growing. Destruction Mushroom X 10,000, growing. Sunshine Mushroom X 10,000, growing. Street Lamp Flowers X 10,000, growing. Coffee Beans X 10,000, growing. New magical plants. I don't know what they all look like. In only 0.6 days, new magical plants will appear on Lu Shu's island. There's still a little time. My natal sacred tree can be upgraded to a high-level spiritual tree. When the time comes, these three new fruits, purple chi fruit, purple qi gong technique fruit, and innate body technique fruit, will be able to grow. Lu Shu calculated the harvest time. Next, he walked towards the boundary of the island. The grey fog was fading. Based on the area Lu Shu explored in the Grey World last time, the scope of his island this time has been directly expanded. It covers an area of 200 square kilometers. This area is not small. When we arrived at the edge of the island, a golden beach appeared not far away. And as the grey fog faded, the blue sky and sea appeared in front of us, just like going back. It was like the normal world. Lu Shu looked at the vast sea, and his mood became clear. Immediately, at the border of the island, Lu Shu built his third line of defense. Using the Tianling decomposed not long ago mine. Now, Lu Shu's island has 3 lines of defense. At this moment, a prompt pops up in front of him. The Grey Realm rankings have been announced. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 65. At this time, the rewards for this ranking pop up in front of you. The ranking list for this Grey World invasion has appeared. All Sacred Tree Masters will receive different rewards according to their rank. First place, God level reward. Second place, Extraordinary Weapon and Diamond Suit. Third place, Diamond Suit. 4th to 10th place, Diamond Weapons. 11th to 30th place, Platinum Weapons. The 31st to the 50th place, Searchlight Torch X10 plus Searchlight Fire Candle X20. No 51 to 100, Searchlight Candle X20. The rankings will be announced soon, please wait a moment. Lu Shu's eyes immediately focused on the God level reward for first place. Other rewards are definitely insignificant to him. Extraordinary weapons already exist. With the diamond level suit, Lu Shu has the Devil's 3-piece suit. After a while, it won't be a problem to gather more suits. The following rewards are not very cost-effective for him. But Lu Shu knew very well that God-level rewards were items related to mythology. Either a mythical building or a mythical creature. If it had only been gathered once or twice, perhaps the increase would not have been so obvious. However, one day, if all the mythical buildings could be collected, this would definitely be a huge improvement to the overall combat strength of the island territory. And the collected Heavenly Dao stone tablets and Heavenly Gates have already provided a lot of amplification effects for Lu Shu's island domain. With my 6 million points, I'm at the top of the rankings this time, which is safe. Other rewards are of no use to me at my current stage. Only God-level rewards are meaningful to me. Lu Shu glanced at the top of the ranking list indifferently and didn't look at anything else. It's all his own anyway. Why need to be anxious? World Public Screen. When the rewards from the rankings appeared in front of everyone, it immediately aroused heated discussion among everyone. Why do you feel like the rewards in the rankings are the same as last time? Who said there has been no change? Didn't the weapons and suits given away be upgraded to a higher level? Can this be called a change? Our overall strength has become stronger. Shouldn't the equipment rewarded by the rankings be upgraded simultaneously? I don't know what the god level rewards are. This time it's time to add. Ahem, I will definitely not reveal what the god level rewards are to you. This is his own thing. By the way, can Tree Master get the first place on the list this time? That's definitely possible. I pressed 1,000 bags of primary fertilizer and went bankrupt. The points accumulated by the tree playing boss this time will exceed 3 million. The upstairs is awesome. The score of 3 million is already very explosive, you dare to bet on it? If you don't dare to gamble, I'll bet that Mr. Lushu can get 4 million. 5 million bets are open. Is there anyone who wants to buy it? I'm done with it. I'll buy a $5 million, 100 packs of primary fertilizer, I'll bet on it. Damn it, the brother upstairs is awesome, you really dare to bet, this is 5 million. Although it is said to be the first in the list of tree betting bosses, the score of 5 million is too small. The ratio is 14:1. Boss, please think clearly. Don't lose your wealth if your brain gets too hot. Bet. Bet. I'll follow 1-2. Brother, if the tree rolling boss really gets 5 million points, kowtow to him. These people are really crazy. You can even think of 5 million points. Are you crazy about fertilizer? Normally, gamblers have this mentality, either they will get rich or they will be poor. Open the world public screen. Lushu didn't expect that these people were actually trying to make a deal out of him. By the way, can I participate in the bet? After thinking about it, I decided to forget it. Lushu now has a lot of primary fertilizers, so he is too lazy to join in the fun with this group of people. At this time, 2 refreshing sounds came to his ears. Ding! You have obtained X1 Purple Chi Fruit, X1 Purple Chi Gong Technique Fruit, and X1 Innate Body Technique Fruit. Ding! Your intermediate spiritual tree has been upgraded to an advanced spiritual tree. Finally come. Lushu's eyes suddenly lit up. Looking towards the sacred tree in the center of the island, that lush tree became much bigger than before. It was like a city made up of a forest. Every leaf became more and more different. It is more crystal clear and radiant than before, as if it contains divinity. From a distance, the sacred tree appears more sacred and inviolable. The sacred tree nourishes the water and soil in all directions, the grass here becomes more lush, and the spiritual energy becomes more intense. The whole world is integrated, harmonious and natural. In front of Lushu, the sacred tree panel immediately appeared. Divine Tree. Stage, Advanced Spiritual Tree. Sunlight, 340/day, 3.4x100. Spiritual Energy, 340/day, 3.4x100. Subspecies Spiritual Tree Remaining Capacity, 12, Total 12. Products, Devil Fruit, Growth Fruit, Heavenly Spirit Fruit Production Cycle, 4 days, 2200/550. Growth Points, 20,325, 15.3x100 equal 1530/day. Next stage, Holy Tree, 100000 growth points. Holy Tree. Lushu's eyes moved instantly. After upgrading to a high-level spiritual tree, the next stage of the divine tree has evolved from a spiritual tree to a holy tree. Moreover, the required growth points have also spanned from 20,000 to 100,000. If you wait until the day it grows into a holy tree, I'm afraid the sacred tree will undergo unexpected changes in Lushu. I wonder if the holy tree will unlock any new fruits by then. Lushu's eyes became expectant. Next. That's 3 products. Devil Fruit, This thing is really good. After the little white fox was born, it happened to lack an offensive ability. I wonder what kind of special powers this devil fruit can possess. Lu Shu's heart moved secretly. The little white fox's space movement ability is really too strong. If it has a super high attack power, it will take off. Just in time. The next devil fruit will be produced in 4 days. Come out. All that's left is to wait. Lu Shu sat down cross-legged. He ran his skills, absorbed spiritual energy, and began to practice. After these rounds of fighting, Lu Shu felt that his understanding had made several new breakthroughs. Swallowing the heavenly spirit fruit. Sure enough. As if it came naturally, I easily broke through the 6th level of Xiantian. The next level behind Xiantian is getting closer and closer. At this moment, number 100 on the ranking list, the name has come out. 100th place, I am really not long Aotian, defense points, 208,777, comprehensive evaluation, a level. World public screen. When the first name appears in front of everyone, everyone started discussing enthusiastically. Hey, darling, the ranking of the second Grey Realm invasion has already reached 200,000 points for the 100th place. Is your progress too fast? It's rolled up, and the big guys on the rankings are starting to roll it up. 200,000 defense points, this time, does it only have an A-level rating? He is worthy of being a leader in the rankings, he is so terrifying. Brother Long seemed to be around 50 last time, but now he has dropped to 100. Isn't this normal? The competition for rankings is so fierce. Who dares to say that they can always be on the list? Yes, Brother Long can continue to be on the list, and he can be said to be a very high sacred tree master. As the list continues to be announced, on the ranking list, there are familiar names, there are unfamiliar names. I have to say, the changes in the rankings are really unpredictable. No one knows where the sacred tree master who ranked high in the rankings last time will be positioned next time. Even some of the big guys who have been on the rankings have entered a position in the Grey World that they should not be in, or they encountered some problems when clearing the dungeon. Their names will never appear on this ranking again. Got it? Many gamblers who had placed their bets on Lu Shu felt their hearts tighten immediately. The changes in the rankings below have been so drastic, then something will happen at the top of the rankings, right? Of course, no one is sure what the final ranking will be. Now, because there is a betting opening, many people looked at the list of rankings, which were announced one after another, and became nervous. An island. Mu Tingfeng's heart skipped a beat at this moment. She didn't know where she would be on the ranking list this time. The most important thing is Lu Shu. Last time, he tripled his points tally. Mu Tingfeng swore that she would never lose so miserably this time. Call. My current points have reached 2.07 million. I don't believe it, this score can be crushed 3 times by the tree man. Looking at the points obtained this time, a confident smile appeared on Mu Tingfeng's face. No matter how strong the treeman is, this is only the second invasion of the Grey World, and his points will never reach 5 million. Exaggeration, right? What's more, Lu Shu has conquered an abyss-level dungeon. Judging from various signs, Mu Tingfeng took a deep breath and suddenly realized that her points seemed to have a chance to surpass the opponent. Her heart began to beat puff. Next, every name that appeared on the ranking list could evoke her heartstrings. No 51, Xiaoao Qinchuan, defense points, 508,777, comprehensive evaluation, a level. 50th place, leading the way, defense points, 528,977, comprehensive evaluation, a level. When the ranking is announced to the 50th place, Many Sacred Tree Masters discovered that the defense points had reached 500,000 points. This score should be very high. But, why is the comprehensive evaluation still A level? Hey, this is already a rating of 500,000. Yes, why is the overall evaluation still A level? When the last time the Sacred Tree Masters reached 50, their overall evaluation should have reached S level, right? Is there something wrong with the system? Maybe it's this year's Divine Tree Master, but that's not very good. Upstairs, do you dare to say this in front of the list boss? Woohoo, sorry, I was wrong. Unconsciously. The ranking list has been announced to the top 20. No 21, Master Gian, defense points, 100,8777, overall evaluation, S level. 20th place, Legend of Feng Xiaolin, defense points, 102,8777, overall evaluation, S level. Finally, when the defense points reached 1 million points, the comprehensive evaluation at this time barely reached S level. World Public Screen. Wow! Why is this system becoming more and more strict? It takes 1 million points to achieve an S-level rating. This is too difficult. Seeing that among billions of people, only 20 can achieve S-level evaluation, my heart suddenly became balanced. I wonder what score Mr. Lusha can get this time. Damn it! Do you think it's possible that the score of Mr. Lusha is too high this time, which raises the scoring standards of all of us? When you say that, it seems like this is really possible. Ha ha ha, I just said it was right to bet on Mr. Lusha, right? There are many trees and the villa is close to the sea. When Mu Yu Tingfeng saw the conversation above, her heart suddenly skipped a beat. Don't tell me, it's really possible. Currently, the ranking is around 20, and 1 million ratings is S level. Isn't this exactly the same as last time? Could it be that, this time it was Lu Shu who raised the rating ceiling for all of them? 1 million is only S level. That. How high should Lu Shu's own score be? No matter what, this time, he shouldn't be able to crush my 3 times the points, right? At this moment, Mu Yu Tingfeng felt extremely uneasy. She could only rely on this method to gradually comfort herself. Finally, the rankings were announced to the final stage. Third place, Rax Hasa, defense points, 199,0022, overall evaluation, S level. Second place, Mu Yu Tingfeng, defense points, 201,7777, overall evaluation, S level. The names in the top 3 rankings are so similar. Last time. The top 3 are also Luosha and Mu Yu Tingfeng, occupying the 3rd and 2nd places respectively. So, there is only one list left that has not yet been announced. The result should be obvious, right? However, at this moment, the billions of players of Shensha game are only concerned about what kind of incredible results Lu Shu can achieve. Just the next second, the list of number 1 has finally been announced. First place, Lu Shu, defense points, 621,0020, comprehensive evaluation, SSS level. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 66. First place, Lu Shu, defense points, 621,0020, comprehensive evaluation, SSS level. The moment this reward popped up, the billions of players in the entire Divine Tree game were all shocked when they saw the series of long numbers and the conspicuous 6 at the top of the numbers. Even the usually busy chat box was temporarily quiet at this moment, with no one talking on it. There was silence for about 10 seconds. What was ushered in was various messages scrolling crazily 100,000 times per second. World public screen. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I don't know how to describe my mood. Forgive me, I can only use 3 consecutive words to describe my inner thoughts at this moment. Oh my god, 6 million defense points, how did the tree-lugging boss do it? I couldn't even dream of achieving this incredible score. Don't call it a dream, just move this decimal point to 1 decimal place for me, so that I can achieve this result. I can even wake up from the dream with a smile. Is this the tree-lugging boss? The highest god on the list, only he can break through himself. Unbelievable. This is the invincible number 1. Who just said that it was impossible for Mr. Lushu to break through to 5 million defense points? Now, I will tell you with the sky-breaking first place points, there is no score that cannot be scored. Facts have proved that there are changes in the rankings, but the group of sacred tree masters at the forefront are still the strongest among a billion people. It will be difficult for others to catch up with them. Oh my god, 6 million defense points has once again refreshed the historical upper limit of the divine tree game. This number blinds my titanium alloy dog eyes. Mu Tingfeng, who is second in the rankings, already has 2 million points, but he was still crushed 3 times by the top guy in the rankings. What a terrifying level this guy's strength has reached. I can't imagine what kind of talent the top guy on the list has awakened. Maybe he secretly opened a cheat. An island. Mu Tingfeng's face suddenly froze. The long string of numbers made her unable to react for a long time. After a while, Mu Tingfeng suddenly realized a problem. This time the Shuren seemed to have crushed his own defense points 3 times. Wrong. Last time, Lu Shuren's points were 1,090,000, and I also had 370,000 points, which was only nearly tripled. Now, his points are 6.21 million, while my points are only just over 2 million. This guy actually crushed me more than 3 times. 3 times more. The gap is getting bigger and bigger. At this moment, Mu Tingfeng's eyes suddenly darkened. Like a salted fish that had lost its dream, he collapsed on the ground. He promised not to be crushed by 3 times the points. It turned out to be only close to 3 times, but now it has become more than 3 times the crush. Instead of any reduction, the gap is getting bigger and bigger. If Mu Tingfeng is challenging a mountain that is insurmountable for him at this moment, then something even more desperate. There is nothing better than trying her best to climb, but the mountain is growing faster than she can climb. Is this guy a human being? In addition to discussing the rankings today, a lucky day for some gamblers. Some sacred tree masters who have placed treasures on Lushu have now reached the time of harvest. And some of the sacred tree masters who put huge sums of money on Lushu and even risked everything to smash the plate with a high score of 5 million are about to make a lot of money at this time. World public screen. Ha 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 ha, I would say that the tree pulling boss should be number 1 on the list. With 100 packs of primary fertilizer, I earned 5 more packs of primary fertilizer. I'm so happy. Follow the boss, the warehouse will be full, you will get rich, and your villa will be close to the sea. Upstairs, the slogan is 666. I would like to call you the leading brother. I remember that there was a boss who got the full 5 million defense points from Boss Lushu. Who knows how much he earns now? Well, I didn't make much, so I just made more than 5,000 yuan of primary fertilizer. Show. What a show. Awesome. More than 5,000. This is crazy money. I was still too conservative. I only invested in the 3 million plate. Billy was not even a little bit behind. It's so uncomfortable. If I had known it earlier, I would have believed in the tree-lugging boss. I could have made thousands, but now I only made a few hundred. Looking at the chat box, everyone bets on Lushu to earn fertilizer. No matter how small the bet is, there will be some reward. The other part. Those sacred tree masters who didn't push Lushu to be ranked first on the list, but still suppressed him from being ranked first, didn't even dare to say anything. Looking at the other people in the chat box, basking in the spring breeze and enjoying the fruits of victory, they are just counting the lost money behind their backs, gnashing their teeth and regretting. Why? What is the wrong thread in my brain? Why do you think that the big tree-laying guy can't get the first place on the list? Now, the list of the rankings came out, and the sacred tree masters who placed their bets on the Lushu list were all happy, but they could only rely on their own sacred trees. Look up at the sky, mushrooms were blue and thin, the gap in life, sometimes the disparity is so huge. Looking at the sacred tree masters who made a lot of money in the chat box, they were so proud that they, the sacred tree masters who were losing money, were so regretful that their teeth were broken, they were jealous. Envy. The sacred tree masters who lost money all swore secretly behind their backs, next time, they will never suppress the big tree master who is not the first on the list. If you do something wrong to yourself, you will not live. Rewards for the Grey World Invasion rankings have been distributed. In the ranking of this Grey World Invasion, you ranked first. Prizes are being distributed. Have the rewards finally been distributed? Lushu's eyes lit up. This time, the God-level reward that topped the rankings was finally given out. I don't know what kind of God-level reward he will get this time. Lushu is full of expectations for this. The next second, in front of him, several prompts popped up. You have obtained a God-level building the 5-color altar. You have obtained the mythical treasure 5-color sacred stones x5. You have obtained the mythical building, Shentong Pavilion. You get a mythical creature, the crane. That's right. Another reward related to mythology. However, the rewards this time seem to be much richer than last time. After all, the Tianmen that was rewarded for the first time seemed to be still incomplete. A reminder popped up in front of Lushu's eyes. Should the 5-color altar be built on the sacred tree island? Yes. Choose an open space. The next second, a magnificent altar appeared on Lushu's sacred tree island. The altar revealed the atmosphere of eternal vicissitudes, and the traces and lines on it seemed to tell the mysterious history that no one knew about for tens of thousands of years. Each of the 5 corners of the altar has 5 grooves, which can be used to inlay sacred stones. The second mythical treasure reward, the 5-color sacred stone, is the special energy used to activate the colorless altar. Do you choose to inlay the 5-color sacred stone into the 5-color altar? Yes. The moment the 5-color sacred stone was embedded in the 5-color altar, the entire altar suddenly erupted with mysterious brilliance. It's like some kind of existence that was sleeping in ancient times has quietly revived. Lushu took a deep breath and felt the vastness of the myth. A panel of mythical architecture popped up in front of me. 5-color altar. Level, mythical. Function, place items on the 5-color altar for sacrifice. When the energy of the 5 sacred stones is activated, you will get a chance of a lucky critical strike. Luck crit. Lushu's eyes suddenly lit up. To put it simply, the 5-color altar is where you can put your extra items for sacrifice. Although some things are redundant to Lushu, he doesn't really want to take them. Redeem at auction. Firstly, the income from treasures of equal value that can be exchanged to Lushu is not high. Secondly, it will also promote the progress of other sacred tree masters in disguise. Weigh it carefully and throw it to the transaction interface to exchange for something. The income is not high. Throw it all on the 5-color altar and exchange it for a luck critical strike. Isn't this much better than exchanging some ordinary items? What's more, Lushu knows that there are hidden treasures in the Grey World. The existence of treasure maps and secret realms. If the 5-color altar triggers the luck critical strike, maybe the treasure map can be found easily. Experience the pleasure brought by the lucky attribute. Lushu, you know, sometimes this attribute can play an unexpected role. A moment of luck may bring a 100-fold return on hard work. Suddenly, Lushu will use the remaining equipment before, as well as a lot of extra useless. All the items were thrown on the 5-color sacred stone. A brilliant divine light landed on all the items on the altar. As the light flashed, golden particles floated in the air. All the items placed on the altar disappeared. Now, the energy turned into essence and poured into the sacred stones placed at the 5 corners of the altar. Buzz. 3 strange sounds sounded. Among them, 3 sacred stones were lit. Are there still 2 divine stones left? Lushu's eyes moved slightly. It is indeed difficult to light up the sacred stone. However, Lushu did not want to light up the sacred stone at once. This is just an attempt. He roughly knows the consumption required to light up the 5-color sacred stone. With the sacrificial objects, Lushu will be sure of the future. Luck critical strikes must of course be used at critical moments to generate greater profits. Next, Lushu will go to the abyss of dead souls and kill the other 2 dead soul bosses. And also subdue them. If the luck critical attack only wishes you success in the strategy copy, or just explodes more equipment, then the use of this gas will be a big loss. Next, there is another mythical building. Shentung Pavilion. Level, mythical. Function, deducing various secrets of exercises, evolving the great ways of heaven and earth, and understanding the laws of nature to promote practice. Following Lushu's thoughts, a pavilion appeared out of thin air on the south side of the island. Echoing the 5-color altar. The pavilion looks ordinary. However, if you use your mind to perceive it, you will find that the pavilion seems to contain endless secrets, making people feel as if they are deeply trapped in it and feel its mysterious atmosphere. Lushu walked into Shentung Pavilion. I thought that there would be many books on exercises and secrets in this pavilion. But it was beyond Lushu's expectation. Entering the Shentung Pavilion, another world has evolved here. It's a scene from an immortal family. It was surprisingly similar to the Yunmen Holy Land that Lushu had visited before. However, the landscape of heaven and earth here appears more natural. Every flower and tree is integrated with the heaven and earth, as if every corner contains some kind of profound truth. Lushu stepped into it and his eyes suddenly lit up. I see. This secret realm of Shentung Pavilion contains the atmosphere of the Great Road. There are no specific operating tips. You need to understand and experience it yourself, and then create your own magical powers. What kind of skills and magical powers you can create all depends on your own destiny. Lushu nodded. This Shentung Pavilion is quite interesting. He tried to sit cross-legged here for a while, it's a pity. In addition to absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth faster and assisting in practice, it is difficult for Lushu to think of what magical way. Now, my realm is only the innate realm. It's too early for me to create my own exercises and enlightenment rules. What's more, understanding the Great Road requires more understanding. After trying for a while, Lushu withdrew from Shentung Pavilion. In this place, with his current state, it was still difficult to contact. You still have to become stronger. A panel of myth ruins pops up in front of you. Mythological ruins. Ruins, Tianmen, incomplete, Tiandao stone steel, incomplete, 5-color altar, Shentung Pavilion. Attribute increase, attack power add 500, defense add 400, spirit add 200, critical hit add 25%, puncture add 100, blessing add 50. At last, Lushu set his sights on the rewards of mythical creatures. A burst of white light appeared in front of his eyes. From the white light, a crane walked out. The crane is extremely spiritual, and the moment it came out, it breathed out spiritual energy. Shu was a little surprised. A truly mythical creature. Even a crane can learn how to become an immortal. At this time, the pet panel popped up in front of Shu's eyes. Crane of Enlightenment. Category, Mythical Creature. Level, First Level. Blessing Aura, Comprehension add 5. Evolution Points, 5. Evolution Points required to upgrade to Level 2, 100. When Shu's eyes were placed on Blessing Halo, his eyes suddenly lit up. Comprehension. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 67. Comprehension may not be that useful to Shu originally. However, got Shentong Pavilion. If your understanding increases, it will be easier to understand the rules and gain insights by chance in the Shentong Pavilion. Shu's eyes moved slightly. There are still 4 days until the next growth fruit is produced. When the fruits of growth mature, the level of the enlightenment crane will be improved. After your understanding improves, go to Shentong Pavilion and you might get unexpected gains. To Shu's surprise, he didn't expect the crane to fly near the spirit jeweling pagoda. Then, start breathing in nearby spiritual energy. The spiritual beast enlightenment crane absorbs spiritual energy, and its cultivation level is add 1. The spiritual beast enlightenment crane absorbs spiritual energy, and its cultivation level is add 1. Look at the prompts in front of you. Shu felt a little surprised. What I didn't expect was, that the crane could practice and upgrade on his own. It didn't take long. A small cyclone was set off around the crane. Immediately afterwards, a pet panel popped up in front of Shu. Enlightenment Crane. Category, Mythical Creature. Level, Level 1. Cultivation Level, Chi Training Level 1 Blessing. Halo, Comprehension add 5. Evolution Points, 10. Required evolution points to upgrade to Level 2, 100. There is an extra level of cultivation. Has he already reached the first level of Chi training in such a short time? Moreover, the evolution points have also been increased. Shu discovered unexpectedly. After Xianhe's cultivation level was improved, his evolution points also increased. If he kept this upgrade speed, wouldn't he be able to get a lot of evolution points in one day? However, Shu later discovered that Xianhe the evolution points are not that fast. Only when you break through the cultivation level can you obtain so many evolution points. On average, more than 10 or 20 evolution points are added a day, which is almost the limit. But this is not bad. At least in terms of evolution points, the natural growth of the fish is a little faster than that of the golden dragon koi. It is indeed the enlightenment crane that increases understanding. He actually knows how to become an immortal himself. Could it be that this crane can become an immortal in the future? Shu thought about it carefully, and it's not impossible. The crane is a mythical creature, and it appears from a god-level reward. In the future, he might actually be able to attain enlightenment and become an immortal. As long as the level of the crane is improved, Shu's understanding it can also be improved. These are good helpers for training. At this moment, a prompt popped up in front of Shu. Ding! Your purple energy fruit tree has finished growing and you have obtained purple energy fruit X100. Purple air fruit tree. Variety, subspecies spirit tree. Product, purple air fruit. Cycle, 0.6 days, 365/550. Production times remaining, 1 rightward arrow 0. When the purple air fruit has just grown, Shu buried the fruit. Half a day passed. The purple gas fruit has reached the production cycle. It is a pity that this kind of fruit only has one production cycle once it is buried. Ordinary spiritual energy fruits are produced about 3 times, but purple energy fruits are only produced once, which means Shu can only get 100 purple energy fruits. However, This side reflects the effect of the purple energy fruit, which may be very unusual. Looking in the direction of the purple energy fruit tree. The trees are already covered with purple fruits. However, this kind of purple is more similar to the color of glow. At a glance, it seems that at sunrise, purple air comes from the east. Lu Shu stepped forward. Gently pick all the purple fruits with your hands. Take a bite. You swallowed a purple energy fruit, and your innate spiritual energy was transformed into golden elixir purple energy. You swallowed a purple energy fruit, and your innate spiritual energy was transformed into golden elixir purple energy. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. From the innate realm to the golden elixir realm, one needs to transform the spiritual energy in the body. At this time, spiritual energy will generally have the properties of the natural laws of heaven and earth. Either fire attribute, wind attribute, or thunder attribute. However, purple energy is a more advanced attribute. If I can transform all spiritual energy into purple energy in the Xiantian realm, then when I reach the golden core realm, my strength will be stronger than the average golden core in the same realm. Suddenly, a burst of purple energy bloomed all over Lu Shu's body. The glow was overflowing with color, like a dream. After swallowing the purple energy fruit, the innate spiritual energy in Lu Shu's body was successfully converted into a higher level purple energy. And at this moment, my cultivation level broke through from the 6th level to the 7th level. Feel the changes in my body. Is this cultivation speed too fast? Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. Just by swallowing a few purple energy fruits, the transformation rate reached about 20%, and he had already broken through to the 7th level of innate level. In this way, maybe it is far away from the innate level and above. The golden elixir realm is not that far away anymore. And reaching the golden elixir realm, Lu Shu had a hunch that his mental power might have a chance to break through to S level. By then, all his powers will be enhanced, and his mental strength will be enhanced. There may also be some changes in the force. Correct. I still have a purple Qigong fruit that I haven't taken. If one obtains the purple Qigong method, the degree of transformation of these purple Qi should be even higher. Thinking of this, Lu Shu immediately took out the purple Qigong fruit from the warehouse and swallowed it. Ding! You swallowed a purple Qigong method fruit and obtained the purple Qigong method. Purple air comes from the east. Run. Purple air coming from the east. Lu Shu suddenly felt his own purple energy, and his absorption speed increased crazily. The conversion efficiency is also much higher. Swallowed a few purple energy fruits. Lu Shu felt a little bloated. There is still excess energy that has not been completely absorbed, but after learning the technique of purple Qi from the east, with a little movement, the purple Qi in the body was converted into golden elixir like crazy, and the progress of cultivation was even faster. It can be said that there is not much bottleneck period left. Lu Shu quickly swallowed the remaining purple energy fruit. You swallowed a purple energy fruit, and your innate spiritual energy was transformed into golden elixir purple energy. You swallowed a purple energy fruit, and your innate spiritual energy was transformed into golden elixir purple energy. When you swallow the 30th purple energy fruit, Lu Shu felt that the innate spiritual energy in his body had completely transformed into purple energy. Now, his cultivation level has also reached the 8th level of Xiantian. In the second stage, the effect of swallowing the purple energy fruit seems to be very slow. There are 3 stages in the purple Qigong method. The first stage, converting the innate spiritual energy into the innate purple energy. The second stage, condensing the purple energy in the body into a golden elixir and breaking through the golden elixir realm. The third stage, opening up the purple energy pupil's force. In the third stage is also the highest state of purple energy coming from the east. I don't know what the pupil power that I opened up does. Lu Shu thought. Next, all he needs to do is to slowly transform all the purple energy into golden elixir, and break through to a higher realm, which is just around the corner. Open the panel. Characters. Divine Tree Master, Tree Raider. Powers, Resonance, Teleportation, Clone, Hallucination, Monster Prophet. Occupation, Shadow Assassin, Grandmaster Level 2, Necromancer, Grandmaster Level 3. Skills, Advanced Carpentry, Top Miner, Advanced Decomposition, Advanced Disguise, Advanced Cooking, Intermediate Curse, Devil Contract, Advanced Clothing Production. Training Level, Innate 8th Level. Talent, 100-fold increase, SSS level, Fruit of All Realms, SSS level, Spring Revival, SSS level. Luck, B. Spirit, A+. Sacred Tree, 3. At this moment, several prompts popped up in front of me. Your Ice Shooter X10000 is mature. Your Destruction Mushroom X10000 is mature. Your Sunshine Mushroom X10000 is mature. Your Street Lamp Flower X10000 is mature. Your Coffee Beans X10000 are ripe. Lushu's eyes suddenly lit up. This time when you activate the SSS level rewards, the magical plant seeds you obtained have finally grown. A row of ice shooters and a row of pea shooters are planted together, like twin brothers. But, although they are all shooters, the peas shot by the ice shooter have the effect of freezing the enemy. Even if you can't freeze the enemy, you can still slow it down. If you encounter a high-moving monster like a demon imp, the ice shooter can freeze the opponent or achieve a slowdown effect. It can also play a very good role in the protection of other plants. The destruction mushroom can produce explosions in the surrounding area. Not only does it cause extremely high damage, it also has artistic effects. In order not to harm other plants, Lushu planted the destruction mushrooms in relatively open areas, far apart. It is equivalent to setting up an explosive defense line. As long as an enemy comes over, explode and that's it. Next, Lushu set his sights on 3 other plants that were more auxiliary. Sunshine mushrooms can absorb the effects of sunlight during the day at night. Provide sunlight to the sacred tree. Street lamp flowers also have the function of sunshine mushrooms, but the difference is that street lamp flowers can regularly produce wicks, which can increase the level of the fire source and gain more field of vision. Coffee beans also have the effect of temporarily increasing mental power, which is equivalent to a short-term mental power increase buff. Lushu nodded. This time, the ability of the magical plants produced brought some surprises to Lushu. Especially the 3 plants with special functions at the back. If there are sunshine mushrooms and street lamp flowers, then Lushu's sacred tree the growth speed will be increased. Because you can also receive sunlight at night. Moreover, even when the gray world invades, sunshine mushrooms and street lanterns can continue to increase sunlight, so that the production of the sacred tree will not be interrupted. This point, that's what Lushu values the most. Soon, Lushu planted sunshine mushrooms and street lamp flowers next to the sacred tree. Since these plants are not used for fighting, there is no need to plant them on the front line. When night comes, the street lantern flowers and sunshine mushrooms exude a dreamlike luster. If you can fly in the air, overlooking the island from 1,000 meters high on Lushu Island, you will feel like the stars in the sky have landed on the ground. The street lantern flowers, the sun mushroom emits golden light, lighting up the earth, making the sacred tree island look more dreamy and mysterious at night. At this moment, the growth rate of the sacred tree has also been increased. Open the sacred tree panel. Sunlight, 410/day, 4.1 x 100. Growth point, 21,325, 16.0 x 100 equals 1600/day. Come to the side of the ice shooter. Lushu conveniently took away some ice cubes. Then, got some coffee beans. Make an iced coffee. Drink it. It's simply refreshing. At this time, a prompt popped up in front of Lushu's eyes. You drank the coffee and your mental power temporarily increased to S level. Duration, 10 minutes. Cooling time, 1 day. Drinking coffee can temporarily give me S level mental power. However, relying on external objects to enhance mental power is not considered a true S level. Lu Shu closed his eyes. He felt that his mental power seemed to touch the edge. He could see through any disturbance around him. Compared with ordinary people's senses, this was simply a godlike experience. But Lu Shu closed his eyes. Shu realized that with S-level mental power, he might be able to sense some special existences. There was a margin that isolated him. He needed to achieve true S-level mental power to reach that area. When my cultivation reaches the golden elixir realm, I will know what new abilities I can awaken with S-level mental power. Lu Shu thought. White lights lit up. A lot of delicious food appeared in front of these little guys. After successfully passing the second invasion of the Grey World, of course we need to hold a celebration banquet to reward these cute little guys. A little white fox came to Lu Shu aggrievedly and made a small cry. Seems a little embarrassed. Lu Shu recognized the little white fox and felt that he had not helped in this invasion of the Grey World, so he felt a little sad. He smiled, touched the soft hair on the little white fox, and said with a smile, "When the devil fruit matures in the future, you will become stronger. At that time, you can go to the battlefield to kill the enemy." The little white fox nodded obediently, showing an expectant look. Bah! Bah! These delicacies are all made with top-quality ingredients, and there are also a lot of spiritual herbs. There are also many types of dishes. Lu Shu I made a cup of iced passion tea. Before I knew it, living on this sacred tree island, Lu Shu could drink milk tea from his previous life. And the taste was much better than ordinary tea. Eat and drink behind the feet, there was a system prompt in my ear. The Grey World has reopened. All sacred tree masters can return to the Grey World for exploration and adventure. Time remaining for the next Grey Realm invasion, 15 days. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 68. When the countdown to the invasion of the Grey World appeared in front of all the sacred tree masters, it triggered a wave of discussion. World public screen. The Grey World has just been opened, why is there a countdown added? He should be the tree building boss, ready to conquer dungeons above the abyss level, right? Just for the difficulty level dungeon, it would take 3 or 4 days at the fastest to clear it. For an ordinary sacred tree master, it would take 10 days for the abyss level dungeon. So if you calculate it, if the big tree master plans to challenge the abyss level dungeon or above next copy, it will definitely take more time. Understood? It's all thanks to the big tree lubber again. The boss is too strong. Grey Realm. Location, Abyss of Dead Souls. Coordinates, 53, 55. Danger factor, S. This abyss appeared again in front of Lu Shu. Only. Execute control of dead souls. The immortal soul has become his servant. Now. The immortal soul was floating quietly behind him, staring blankly ahead. And in the abyss, without the immortal soul, the difficulty of this dungeon immediately dropped a lot. Lu Shu took out 5 search torches from the warehouse that he had received as a gift after successfully resisting the Grey Realm invasion on the first day. All added to search torch. The firelight once again dispersed the surrounding grey fog. The surrounding field of vision expands into the distance. Lu Shu's perception range increased from the original 130 meters to 180 meters. Even an abyss-level boss has a perception range of about 200 meters. Now, Lu Shu's perception range is basically equivalent to the abyss-level boss. Walking towards the abyss of dead souls. Do you want to use Advanced Soul X1 and display it for 1 minute? Yes. The next second. The ancient parchment once again revealed the location and activity tracks of nearby monsters. The location of the Abyss of Dead Souls boss has been confirmed. Cast Night Hide. Pikachu and Uami both hid within the range of night cover. The little white fox can directly travel through the cracks in the void and use the space of another dimension to move. Then, Lushu led the mighty army and set off towards the Abyss of Dead Souls. Arriving at the depths of the Abyss of Dead Souls, in front of Lushu, some monsters he had never seen before appeared one after another. Malicious Evil Spirit. Category, Revenant. Danger Coefficient, A. Perception Range, 50 meters. Power, 180. Speed, 200. Defense, 120. Skills, Curse Entanglement, Resentment Erosion. Description: they have extremely ferocious souls and turn into extremely powerful evil spirits after death. Spirits, it's best not to provoke them at will. Cowardly Undead. Category, Undead. Danger Coefficient, B+. Perception Range, 70 meters. Power, 80. Speed, 150. Defense, 120. Skills, Hostile Perception, Rapid Elegance, Call for Rescue. Description: they have extremely weak souls, even if they become ghosts they are also afraid of death. They had better not be provoked by anything, otherwise they will scream and attract the attention of all the dead souls. Not far away, several cowardly undead floated past in front of Lushu. When their passive hostile perception discovered the presence of Lushu, they were immediately ready to scream. Lushu took out the devil's staff. Cast Undead Control. The next second, before these cowardly undead could make a sound, they exploded and died instantly. According to the monster's movement trajectory on the Marauder's map, Lushu quickly followed the planned route and headed towards the location of the boss. The Nightmare Revenant and the Corrupted Revenant are not far apart. As long as the undead soul is solved, you basically have to face the attacks of these two boss at the same time. On the Marauder's map, the huge red dot was getting closer and closer to Lushu's position. Finally, in sight, two souls that were several times larger than the other dead souls, with the abyss aura on them, and even more terrifying dead souls, appeared in front of Lushu. Pop up the boss panel. Nightmare Revenant. Category, Revenant, Abyss. Danger Factor, A+. Perception Range, 150 meters. Power, 610. Speed, 530. Defense, 510. Skills, Resonance of the Revenant, Nightmare Coil, Abyss Amplification, Abyss Curse. Description: Nightmare Revenant was originally the leader of a human tribe, during a migration, took the wrong path and led the entire tribe into the abyss. When that troop came out again, it turned into an army composed of dead souls. Corrupted Soul. Category, Revenant, Abyss. Danger Factor, A+. Perception Range, 150 meters. Power, 630. Speed, 500. Defense, 410. Skills, Soul Resonance, Decaying Corruption, Abyss Amplification, Corruption Curse. Description: Corrupted Soul and Nightmare Soul, they were two brothers who jointly ruled the tribe and became one of the leaders of this undead army. Uami, possessing Pikachu. Pikachu, you are responsible for stopping other dead souls from coming. The little white fox has the holy water ready and is waiting for my order at any time. Lushu quickly ordered. Yumi turned into a stream of light and flew to Pikachu. According to the plan that had been planned long ago, Pikachu first formed a circle, guarding outside the nightmare souls and corrupt souls, and made peace for Lushu. Instead of taking the initiative to attack the boss, he came out of a battlefield. The one who stayed in the battlefield was the little white fox. Lu Shu did not intend to kill these two boss, but wanted to use the Revenant control to control the nightmare souls and corrupted souls. And the undead souls, all of them were collected as his own dead souls. Then Lu Shu drank the coffee. You drank coffee and your mental power increased to S level. Remaining time, 10 minutes. When his mental power increased, Lu Shu immediately took out the devil's staff. Cast Revenant Soul Harness. Roar. The nightmare souls and corrupt souls suddenly let out a shrill cry. They sensed someone and wanted to control them directly with mental power. However, Lu Shu's mental power reached S level, suppressing the nightmare souls and corrupt souls with all his strength. Revenant. The two bosses could only resist desperately. At this moment, the nightmare revenant held a bone staff in his hand, and a dark light suddenly burst out. The nightmare souls launched the curse of the abyss. Lu Shu suddenly felt that a cursed energy was trying to wrap around him. Little white fox, prepare the holy water. Lu Shu said calmly. The little white fox hiding in the crack immediately poured holy water on the body of the nightmare soul. Baba! Baba! A terrifying black mist suddenly came from the body of the nightmare soul. The nightmare soul was damaged by the purification system, and the skill effect was cancelled. However, the corrupted souls took advantage of this opportunity and activated the resonance of the souls. The nearby dead souls, after sensing the enemy's intrusion, rushed towards the boss territory like a tide. Soon, all around are dead souls whose danger coefficient is between B and N a level. Although the difficulty coefficient of Abyss of Dead Souls is not very high, as an Abyss copy with an S-level danger coefficient, the other monsters here have very high attributes and are not much worse than the boss. Densely packed high-level dead souls are heading here to kill. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. UMI, use the Grimoire Finale. Prevent these dead souls from approaching. Lu Shu commanded. Suddenly, the overflowing thunder swept away the nearby dead souls. The mysterious light of magic dispelled the erosion of darkness. 100 Pikachu and UMI guarded Lu Shu's side. Next, you can continue to control the nightmare souls and corrupted souls. The mental power has been upgraded to the S level, and Lu Shu's control intensity of revenant control is now very high. The nightmare souls and corrupted souls, even if they work together to defend, it's hard to have any effect. Little white fox, continue to use holy water on them. Lu Shu frowned. He didn't expect that the resistance of these two bosses was so strong. The little white fox immediately came out of the crack in the void and sprinkled the holy water on the two dead bosses again. Waves of black mist emerged. Nightmare. The dead souls and corrupted dead souls were constantly being purified by the holy water and gradually became weaker. They wanted to use the dead soul resonance to call the undead souls over. What they didn't expect was, the undead souls actually came from behind Lu Shu, floating out. When those empty eyes fell on the nightmare soul and the corrupt soul, the other two bosses were stunned. When did this guy betray the other side? The undead soul appeared in Lu Shu behind the scenes. It can be said that the resistance of the nightmare souls and corrupt souls was completely destroyed. As Lu Shu increased the control of his mental power, soon the two bosses no longer resisted. They chose to surrender to Lu Shu's hands. Several prompts pop up in front of you. You used undead control to control the nightmare souls. You used undead control to control the corrupted souls. Your undead control has reached the maximum control authority. Please continue to expand it after the necromancer's career is upgraded. When Lu Shu successfully controlled all the boss in Abyss of Dead Souls, several prompts popped up in front of me. You have successfully defeated all boss in the Abyss of Souls. Get the Undead Bone Staff, Extraordinary Level, X1. Get Search Torch Add 1. Get the Sage's Prophecy X1. Lu Shu's eyes first focused on the Undead Bone Staff. Undead Bone Staff. Type, weapon, exclusive for necromancers. Grade, extraordinary. Attributes, spirit add 400, magic add 2000, spell penetration add 100, durability add 3000. Skills, army of undead. Description, the tribal faith staff of the nightmare revenants during their lifetime. However, after falling into the abyss, this staff seemed to be contaminated by the abyss and turned into a weapon to control the army of dead souls. It's actually a weapon exclusive to the necromancer. Lushu felt a little surprised. No wonder Raxhasa got this map. It turns out that this is a map specially suitable for his career development. The entire relationship of the Dark Knight Alliance may be behind it. If it is just the bones of the undead, the attributes and bonus effects of the staff are not that obvious. But the skill of Army of Revenants can control all the armies of Revenants in Abyss of Revenants, and only the power of the staff is used, and there is no need to occupy the space of Revenant soul control. More importantly, Lushu can use the army of dead souls to gather the entire army of dead soul abyss into the bone staff. In this way, it is equivalent to Lushu having a portable army of dead souls. The number of B and 2A level souls alone has reached several thousand, and the number of imprisoned souls and some relatively weak souls has reached tens of thousands. Pushing other abyss level dungeons may not be a problem now. When Lushu raised the bone staff of the dead, all the dead souls nearby stopped. All it takes is Lushu's thought, and these dead souls will be under his control. Receive. Lushu launched the army of dead souls. As the top of the bone staff, a burst of dark light burst out. All the nearby army of dead souls poured into the bone staff. Don't look at it, it's just a small bone staff. However, inside, there was an army of tens of thousands of dead souls. Lushu nodded with satisfaction. Next, he set his sights on this book of sage prophecy. He opened it and read it. The reading above is probably some history. Disaster is following our tribe. We must run faster than the disaster to have a chance of survival. If you want to reach a safe area, you have to cross the abyss. In fact, this is just another abyss of despair. The pollution there will turn us all into monsters. Read the brief content in the book. Lushu frowned slightly. This army of dead souls was originally supposed to be a human tribe. However, in order to escape the coming disaster, they chose to cross the abyss. It was because of the pollution of the abyss that everyone in the tribe died, including the leader. They all became dead souls, but they still retained the consciousness of escaping disaster during their lives, so they went here. The pollution of the abyss is not the abyss of dead souls, but the abyss they passed through when they came over. There should be a copy with a higher risk factor. I don't know where this copy is. At this time, a card fell out of the sage's prophecy book. Picking up this page of cards from the ground, Lushu suddenly discovered that there were outlines and traces of the continent on the card, which was a more complete map. Demonic Manor. Coordinates, 64, 55. Danger Factor, S. Boss, Demonic Manor Master, Abyss Level. Items, Special Fertilizer, Search Torch, Demonic Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Demonic Suit, Demonic Seed. Endless Flame City. Coordinates, 64, 57. Danger Factor, S+. Boss, Flame Demon, Abyss Level. Items, Special Fertilizer, Search Torch, Demon Advanced Skills Illustrated, Demon Suit, Demon Seed. Ruins of the Lost Holy Land. Coordinates, 63, 55. Risk Factor, None. Wailing Abyss. Coordinates, 67, 58. Danger Factor, SS. Boss, Lord of the Netherworld, Nightmare Level. Items, Special Fertilizer, Search Torch, Demon Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Demon Suit, Demon Seed, Nether Weapon, Sacred Artifact. Lu Shu's eyes immediately fell on the map of Howling Abyss. Nightmare copy. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 69. It turns out that the higher level dungeon above the Abyss level is the Nightmare level dungeon. Lu Shu showed a thoughtful look. Howling Abyss is a full 10 coordinates away from where I am. There are not only Nightmare level dungeons there, but also many Abyss level dungeons, which are suitable for me to go there. On the way, you can first clear out a wave of copies encountered on the way. It just so happens that I want to try using the monsters in the Abyss level dungeon to push against the ordinary dungeon. What is it like? Lu Shu raised the undead bone staff. The mighty army of dead souls immediately followed Lu Shu and began to sweep away the dungeons along the way. Soon, Lu Shu spent a lot of primary fertilizer on the transaction interface to purchase many sections of maps. Basically, all the maps surrounding Castlevania have been purchased. Of course, coordinates that are far away are also included. This is to prevent other Sacred Tree Masters from confirming their location with the map they purchased. The Sacred Tree Masters of the Grey World also began to explore the Grey World extensively at this time, and more maps were put up for auction on the trading interface. Most of these maps can be found in safe areas, and there are a lot of them. They can be redeemed by using only primary fertilizer. All selections light up. The maps on the way to Howling Abyss are basically in a bright state. Next, Lu Shu led the mighty army of dead souls and began a frenzied sweep of the nearby dungeons. With such a huge undead army, it is basically possible to conquer several difficult level dungeons at the same time. The monsters in the undead army all have extremely high attributes. Ordinary dungeon monsters, after being attacked by Lu Shu's soul army, were like locusts sweeping over them, leaving nothing behind. If other Sacred Tree Masters saw this scene, they would probably think that Lu Shu was not a human at all, but a very powerful boss in the Grey World. The scene of leading such a terrifying army of dead souls across the Grey World is so shocking. Just a moment. Several copies have been swept away by the army of dead souls. These difficult level dungeons are simply not enough to watch when faced with the siege of a bunch of A-level souls. Fragile as a monster. And various rewards kept popping up in front of Lu Shu's eyes. You have obtained Primary Wood X1000 and Advanced Wood X1000. You have obtained Revenant Boots, Silver Level, X1, Revenant Armor, Silver Level, X1, Revenant Breastplate, Silver Level, X1. You got X10 Searchlight Candles and X5 Searchlight Torches. Grey World. Location, Plague Village. Danger Factor, A level. Boss, Source of Plague, Difficult Level. A team of 5 people is engaged in a fierce boss battle in this village. The source of the plague looks like a giant rat. Its hands continuously sprayed out corrosive and toxic mucus, shooting towards the surrounding divine tree masters. Use holy light to purify him quickly. Where did the human shield go to protect the mage's output? Depend on. The attack of this dead rat also has a deceleration effect, which is really disgusting. The difficulty level of the difficult boss is too high. What are we, a bunch of rookies, trying to do here? Stop talking nonsense. If we can get through this instance, if we dare to invade the Grey World in the future, and if we dare to fight, it might not be a problem to get 100,000 points. Do you think 100,000 points is a lot now? The big names on the list are at least hundreds of thousands, and next time, they might start in the millions. The average strength of this team is average, at most below the middle level, but the tacit understanding is still good. Basically, the professions in the team are relatively complete, and the quality of skills is also very high. After a hard battle, finally, The difficult boss of the plague village is about to fall in everyone's hands. At this moment, in the distance, densely packed dead souls suddenly roar towards here. In the blink of an eye, all the nearby monsters are destroyed by these terrifying dead souls. Torn to pieces. The source of the plague, which was about to be purified by the holy light technique, was instantly overwhelmed by the dead souls, and could no longer die. This sudden change made all the members of the entire team look stunned. After a whole time for about 10 minutes, everyone in the team stood there blankly, watching this scene, and even their brains entered a shutdown state. At this moment, beside them, thousands of dead souls suddenly turned their heads. Come. When those 1,000 pairs of deep and empty eyes fell on the team members at the same time, the breath of death that rushed towards them made them wake up instantly and realize what they should do now. Grass. Run. Mud, what the hell? This group of teams ran away like crazy towards the outside of the village. The dead souls seemed to be too lazy to pay attention to them. They continued to harvest and explore in the dungeon. To be precise, Luciu was too lazy to pay attention to them. That's right. This army of dead souls is the army controlled by Luciu. After sweeping the nearby dungeons, unexpectedly, they encountered a team of divine tree masters. However, according to the pop-up panel, this their comprehensive talents are not very high, otherwise they would not still be challenging difficult level dungeons after the second invasion of the Grey World. Luciu would naturally not be interested in the sacred trees on them. He might as well kill the sacred trees. All the energy the master had was reserved for exploring the dungeon. And Luciu had not forgotten that the dungeon also had such a thing as a treasure map. He sent out the dead souls, frantically searching for the whereabouts of the treasure map in all areas. No corner will be spared. The equipment dropped by raiding the dungeons can generally reach the silver level, and a few can reach the gold level. Of course, equipment of this level has no effect on Luciu. They were all thrown to the 5-color altar on the sacred tree island. After 2 or 3 days of sweeping, Luciu's 5-color sacred stone lit up another one. With only the last one left, you can carry out a luck critical strike. This one during the time on the road, Luciu was focused on searching for the whereabouts of the treasure map. If hard work pays off, then, the next time all the 5-color sacred stones are lit up and the fate critical strike is received, it should be those who work hard will be rewarded. Separated by a coordinate, a relatively safe neutral zone. The small team that was scared away by Luciu leaned against the wall, panting. Now, they almost exhausted their last bit of energy before they stopped. My day. A young man couldn't help but cursed, where did those dead souls come from? Didn't we see these things when we entered the dungeon? The woman in red frowned and said the source of the plague we attacked should be relative for me, relatively simple mutated creatures are the right ones, and as the background says, there are no dead souls or humans in this place, only polluted mutated creatures. How could there be so many terrifying dead souls coming out? Another white-haired girl even asked. Showing a frightened expression. I used the monster information ability and saw a very, very, very scary revenant inside. Everyone turned their heads and looked at her. The white-haired girl took a deep breath. I saw a dead soul with a risk factor of A and level. What? When this sentence was said, everyone was shocked. The first reaction was that they couldn't believe it. You didn't lie to us, did you? What we have conquered is just a difficult level dungeon. Why did so many terrifying dead souls appear? It's simply outrageous. A and level and difficult level bosses are not that powerful, right? Moreover, there is more than one, there are many A-level souls. What exactly is going on? Everyone present looked at each other, unable to understand what just happened. Post it to the public screen of the world and let the universal chat box solve the problem for us. In the team, a strong-looking man, who was also their captain, spoke up. Everyone nodded. World Public Screen. At all members we discovered a very strange phenomenon in the grey world. When the captain launched a full screen call, he immediately attracted the attention of other sacred tree masters. These people now recounted everything that happened in the plague village. It immediately aroused everyone's discussion. Real or fake? An army of dead souls suddenly swept across the dungeon? Why do I sound so unreal? Not only is it not unreal, it also feels a bit familiar. Wait, I think I heard the story you told me not long after the game Sacred Tree started. Damn it. When you said that, I also remembered it. Isn't that the story of Guangong the rat? Yes, but later this story was proved to be false. Later, there were not many sacred tree masters who encountered the legendary rat Guangong. Moreover, the last memory video only contained a yellow-skinned mouse in the fog. Maybe they were too nervous and insane at the time, so this situation occurred. Several people in the team suddenly became anxious when they saw that the people on the world's public screen didn't believe them. They all sent their memory videos. I have several memory videos for comparison. Moreover, they are all very high-definition images, recording the scene of the reeking ghosts. This kind of memory video usually cannot be fake. It's still true. These dead souls are too terrifying. Could it be that this group of unlucky guys had conquered the wrong dungeon and ended up in the abyss-level dungeon? Running the wrong dungeon is okay, but these days you can still find the wrong dungeon, and the boss can't help but give you a 666. It shouldn't be. Look, there is clearly a difficult level boss there, which has been beaten to a very crippled state. This means that their boss did not find a mistake. This place was originally a difficult level dungeon, but I don't know where these dead souls came from. Come. To be honest, it's a bit scary. There are at least several thousand souls here that are a level in strength. I've never seen so many monsters with explosive attributes in any difficulty level dungeon I've been to. Yes, this is at least something that only abyss level dungeons will encounter. I really don't know what kind of luck this team has awakened today, and they can encounter things that other billions of divine tree masters can't encounter. What I think is most awesome is that none of these people died, and they all ran away. I want to ask them how they did it. Maybe they were running fast enough. Look at their memories of the second half. The speed can be described as a flying person. Suddenly. The story about Plague Village, a difficult level dungeon that was suddenly swept away by an army of dead souls, has become the biggest hot topic in the Sacred Tree game recently. Some people are worried about this, fearing that the army of dead souls will affect them. Some people are indifferent to this, thinking that such a thing will never happen in this life and it has nothing to do with them, and some people are quite concerned about it. I am curious and want to find out the truth about this matter. Maybe I can also find a way to conquer the copy. Dark Island. Boundless darkness enveloped the island. Enya opened his eyes and noticed this, frowning slightly. Suddenly, he discovered the location of the Plague Village, and there was a team from the Dark Knight Alliance nearby. Perhaps, this is a special mobile copy. If you can kill these monsters, you may be able to obtain some special rewards and achievements. Even if I can't defeat this group of monsters, I'll get some information first and kill them myself when I encounter them in the future. Thinking of this, Dark Knight immediately notified the team closest to the Plague Village to explore this matter. Soon, a Dark Knight Alliance team composed of A-level Sacred Tree Masters headed towards the coordinates of the Plague Village. Go exploring. Ding. You have obtained a shadow fruit. Ding. You have obtained an undead magic fruit. Sacred Tree Island. Lushu's body opened its eyes. 2 days passed again. The fruits of the other 2 sacred trees have grown again. However, because the natal sacred tree has now reached the level of an advanced spiritual tree, the production cycle has also changed from 3 days to 4 days. There are still 2 days left to harvest the devil fruit. Lu Shu teleported to other islands and picked the 2 newly acquired fruits. Swallow the shadow fruit first. Ding. You have swallowed 1 shadow fruit, and there are still 2 fruits left to upgrade to the 3rd level of Grandmaster. When you reach the Grandmaster level, it becomes difficult to upgrade. It might be easier to wait until the Shadow Divine Tree grows into a high-level spiritual tree. Swallow the undead magic fruit. Ding. You swallowed a fruit of undead magic and upgraded to the master level. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 70. The next second. The career panel in front of Lu Shu has been updated. Occupation. Name, Necromancer. Level, Grandmaster Level 1, upgrade to Level 9. Attributes, Spirit add 300, Perception add 100, Magic add 1000. Available skill points, 6. Refining of Dead Souls. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. This skill seems to have appeared for the Divine Tree Master. Strictly speaking, most of the monsters in the Grey World are not living beings. Therefore, the soul of the Divine Tree Master who just died, refining into dead souls should be the main direction of this skill. Lu Shu thought about it. Undead magic add a little. Undead storm adds 1 point. Revenant refining adds 1 point. Save the last bit and add more depending on the situation. Soon, the skills panel will be updated again. Skills. Undead perception, LV2. You can sense the breath of the undead within a range of 4,000 meters. Undead magic, LV5. Consume spiritual power and magic power to summon an undead with an S-level danger coefficient. Undead control, LV8. You can control undead whose danger coefficient is below SS level. Undead storm, LV8. Control up to 4,500 surrounding undead with danger coefficients below S and level and launch attacks at the corresponding target. Refining of undead souls, LV4. You can collect the recently deceased souls of the living and refine them into undead souls for control. The higher the level of the living, the stronger the refined souls will be. You can refine souls with a risk factor of up to S level. Undead control, professional exclusive. Defeat an undead, completely control it with spiritual power, and cultivate undead monsters. My Revenant magic can now summon an S-level Revenant monster. Once you reach S level, it's a transformation. Now, as long as I have enough mental power, if I encounter many copies of the dead souls again, all the dead souls will be my puppets. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. He tried to use undead magic. In a burst of dark magic array, the souls of the dead, wrapped in evil aura, were summoned from the array. Black Shadow Revenant. Category, Revenant. Danger coefficient, S. Strength, 810. Speed, 730. Defense, 610. Skills, Death Coil, Shadow Lurk, Shadow Strike, Soul Eater. This shadow form was precisely when he was in Castlevania, Lu the Tree saw the dead spirit summoned by Rakshasa. However, the Black Shadow Soul summoned by Lu Shu was many times more powerful than the one summoned by Rakshasa. The 3 bosses in Abyss of Dead Souls are only A and level in strength. There is a lack of an S-class soul to guard the army. Now, the level of undead magic has been improved, and with the bonus of the master level, Lu Shu can already summon S-level undead souls. Grey World. Lu Shu focused his attention on a copy near the map. Kingdom of Evil Spirits. Coordinates, 60, 54. Danger coefficient, S. Boss, destroy evil spirits, abyss level. Items, search torch, holy artifact of the dead, rare ore. Just right. Evil spirits are the most powerful attack among the dead souls. My army of dead souls only has 1 soul with S-level combat power, and it prefers assassination, so it is not strong enough. If you can control another soul of an abyss-level boss, you will get a more powerful army. The profession of the necromancer has been upgraded to the master level. Lu Shu's dead soul control can control more dead souls. From here, he will go to the evil spirit kingdom, which will take about a day. Lu Shu did not take any rest and went on the road with all his strength. There was not much time until the next invasion of the Grey World. Since most of the sacred tree masters did not progress as fast as Lu Shu, the interval between the invasions of the Grey World was, it's not very long. Maybe. When the other sacred tree masters gain average strength, the interval between Grey World invasions will be longer. Lu Shu must speed up his time to explore as much as possible during this period of time. That's it. This is a prime time for other sacred tree masters to chase Lu Shu. But unfortunately, Lu Shu will not give them this opportunity. Grey Realm. Location, the top of Screaming Mountain. Danger factor, level A. The top of Screaming Mountain is towering and dangerous. The wind here makes a harsh sound like a ghost crying or a wolf howling. A group of sacred tree masters appeared here. They had just completed the strategy for a difficult level dungeon. However, not even a drop of sweat broke out on these people's bodies. It's like conquering a difficult copy. For them, it's just a warm-up exercise. When can we conquer the abyss-level dungeons? These dungeons are so boring. A man in black said lazily. There are new tasks for us in the dark night. The captain of the team said in a steady tone near us, an undead army that will sweep away other copies appeared. We have to investigate. This must be fake, just like the story about the yellow-skinned mouse last time. I don't know who made it up again. The man in black looked disdainful and did not think that this legend could be true. In his eyes, the Dark Knight organization has grown so powerful and it is still a waste of time to conquer difficult level dungeons. Right here at that moment, a mighty undead army spread out from a distance. A woman in the team immediately returned and said, "My sense of the undead senses that there is a large army of undead nearby and they are rushing in a certain direction." What? When the woman spoke, the others were shocked. The woman has the power of perception and can sense the location of monsters from a long distance. Once she speaks, it is basically the legendary army of dead souls. The face of the man in black suddenly froze. He really didn't expect that just when he said it was impossible, the army of dead souls actually appeared. Yao Feng, how is the situation there? The captain immediately stepped forward and asked with a serious face. Yao Feng calmly reported the total number of A-level souls is about 3,000, there are more than 10,000 B-level souls, and there are 3 AN souls. Dead soul. The overall strength is above the difficulty level, only missing S-level souls to reach the abyss level standard. These armies of dead souls seem to have a clear purpose and are moving towards the kingdom of evil spirits with coordinates 60, 54. The captain rubbed his chin, pondered for a moment, and suddenly remembered something. Last time, those people on the world public screen said that the dead souls had swept away the plague villages, right? Right. So, this time, when these armies of dead souls go to the evil spirit kingdom, they should also be going to clear out the dungeons. The captain's eyes suddenly lit up and he said, in this case, 2 abyss-level copies will suddenly fight. The battle between them will definitely be quite fierce. It is a good opportunity for the snipe and the clam to fight and the fisherman to profit. Yao Feng, go and sense the location of these dead souls, we will go there immediately. Evil Spirit Kingdom. Perhaps, this is an opportunity for us to conquer the abyss-level copy. Good. Hearing what the captain said, everyone else in the team was shocked. How could such a good thing happen to them? Abyss-level copies were killing each other, and they only had to wait nearby to find the right one. Maybe they can successfully kill the abyss-level dungeon boss if they take the opportunity. If that's the case, the output will be enough to nourish them for a while. Maybe, in the subsequent Grey Realm invasion, they will challenge the challenge of millions of defense points. Are not impossible. Soon. Under the leadership of the captain, this team is heading towards the evil spirit kingdom with all its strength. It seems that the boss of the Abyss level copy is very close at hand. Spend a day traveling. Finally, Lu Shu came to the evil spirit kingdom. A castle like a Castlevania appeared not far away. The towering city walls look extremely majestic. After scanning the surrounding dungeons, Lu Shu obtained a lot of search supplies. Now, his field of vision has expanded to 330 meters. If you only look at objects within 100 meters, Lu Shu's field of vision is now no different from his normal field of vision. Army attack. Just arrived at the kingdom of evil spirits. Lu Shu just let all the army of dead souls attack directly. Door. The danger coefficient of most of the guard souls guarding the vicinity is around B level. It doesn't even require a kill. Lu Shu directly used undead control. Nearby, the hostile souls all stagnated in mid-air, unable to move. When necessary, Lu Shu can even control them to self-destruct. But since we are here to take this Abyss level copy as part of our own army of dead souls, then every dead soul here is almost equal to one of our own. Lu Shu has always adhered to the concept of loving soldiers as sons. Although these dead souls are not very valuable, 1 more 1 means more combat power. That's all. Lu Shu successfully entered the location of the boss of Evil Spirit Kingdom. The Kingdom of Evil Spirits. The deepest palace. An extremely ear-piercing roar suddenly came from inside the palace. The next second, the evil spirit, filled with the aura of destruction, was huge, like a mountain. It opened the grand palace door and appeared in front of Lu Shu. Pop up the boss panel. Destroy the dead souls. Category, Dead Souls, Abyss. Danger coefficient, S. Perception range, 200 meters. Power, 810. Speed, 530. Defense, 710. Skills, Destruction Storm, Spiritual Roar, Dead Soul's Wrath, Abyss Amplification, Dead Soul Control. Description: possessed by the Abyss, the violent soul of the curse, after breaking free from the shackles of the Abyss, re-established a kingdom of evil spirits. The revenants of destruction look extremely brutal. Lu Shu broke into the kingdom directly and triggered the perception of destroying the dead souls. Destroy the human beings who invaded by the dead souls, and they always have the greatest murderous intention. Just when it was about to activate its skills, a silent black shadow suddenly wrapped around the body of the soul of destruction. The Black Shadow Revenant launched a death coil against the Destruction Revenant. The entanglement of death can continuously erode the vitality of the living. But for dead souls of the same level, death coil has a suppressive effect. They are all S-level souls. The souls of the destroyed souls suddenly felt unable to move. It stared at the Black Shadow souls angrily, seemingly unable to understand why a human could control such a high-level soul. Then, Lu Shu drank a cup of coffee. You drank the coffee and your mental strength temporarily increased to S-. Duration, 10 minutes. Execute control of dead souls. Lu Shu's increased mental power, coupled with the death entanglement of the Black Shadow soul, instantly suppressed the destruction soul. The Revenant of Destruction kept trying to roar. However, it was extremely frustrated to find that it seemed that it couldn't even use a single skill and was about to be suppressed until death. Not long after, a prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu. You have successfully completed the undead control and controlled the undead of destruction. Besides, the next second, several rewards popped up in front of Lu Shu. You have obtained the holy artifact of the dead soul, the Soul Control Order. You obtain the Evil Spirit Bone Chain, Diamond level. You gain Search Torch, add 1. Lu Shu's eyes first fell on the holy artifact of dead souls. Soul Controlling Token. Type, Royal Token. Level, Holy Artifact, exclusive for dead souls. Attributes, mental power at 200, magic power at 500. Skills, soul restraining. General description, a token specifically used to control dead souls, from the abyss. Whoever owns it will become the king of the kingdom of the dead. Lu Shu checked the skills of the General Juling. Similar to the soul bone staff, it can control the souls of the entire country. The number of dead souls from the two abyss-level copies together formed Lu Shu's army. At this moment, Lu Shu already has an army of 100,000 dead souls. It is equivalent to holding two abyss-level copies of soldiers. If he were to challenge Castlevania now, it would be a completely equal push. Then, the equipment panel popped up in front of Lu Shu. Evil Spirit Bone Chain. Category, Jewelry. Grade, Diamond. Attributes, Mental Power at 100, Magic Power at 200, Spell Penetration at 50. Set, Evil Spirit 8-piece set, 1/8. Effect, none. Description, sealed with the evil spirit of the dead, the bone chain has powerful magic power. It is best to be careful of the mental power being affected when wearing it. Lu Shu's mental power has reached this level, so he will naturally not be affected by anything. When he equipped the soul taming token, Lu Shu immediately felt that he had gained the range of perception and vision of the entire evil spirit kingdom. There are still some valuable things to explore in this place. Lu Shu's heart moved. Different from Abyss of Dead Souls, the kingdom of evil spirits seemed to have had civilization before this. Lu Shu felt that if he swept this place, he could gain something else. At this moment, his brows suddenly wrinkled slightly. Are there other sacred tree masters here? Sent and left. Lu Shu suddenly discovered that a medium-sized team had quietly entered the kingdom of evil spirits.